Okay, let's try this bitch again. And this time, me vibing on camera with you, just chilling in my PJs. Said I wanted to be on camera more this year. I had to resist the urge to look at myself on camera because that's where the chat also is. Why OBS did you restructure the size of everything? I don't understand. I'm gonna be playing with a controller for most of it.
Who are you?
Okay. Unfortunately, the way it crashed, it didn't save the character I created, so I have to do this entire setup all over again. We love that for me. It's actually faster to design your character with the mouse and keyboard than it is with the controller, which
What was that?
on the PlayStation it can be really annoying. I removed every single mod, so I don't have any mods installed at all right now, which is not like me at all. It also means I can't just kiss Astarion whenever I want because I don't have that mod installed right now. But for some reason the mods were making everything free, and I'm not sure which mod it is. I have a suspicion. I think it's the approvals only mod, but because I don't actually know what is right in the fucking way. Obviously I'm going really fast because I have a character design that I tend to always do because I want a character that looks like me.
You need a guardian.
It's the same with guys. I know exactly which one I think is the most attractive. So, some important things to note when it comes to romancing characters in Baldur's Gate. The first thing that's important to know is that you can, unless you have a mod installed, only romance 2 characters at a time. So once you get to the point where you officially start their romance, you trigger whatever that is. You can't have more than 2 of them. So if you want to be like extra careful and you don't have a poly mod installed, I always romance the person you want to romance that run. But it's really easy to accidentally lock yourself out of Astarion's romance when you're playing
My
a character
head.
if you accidentally activate the romances with the other characters first. The second thing that's important to note is characters have 2 different forms of how you can hit the right number of points to romance them. So one of my older videos was romancing Astarion without finding out he's a vampire until it forces the fight scene in Act 2. And doing that required hitting medium before I did the Goblin Party, because if you talk to him after you hit medium, he'll tell you he's a vampire, so there was no way to get the dark conversation. I had to do it at the party. And the party is a designated romance moment, so if he rejects you at the party, it's done. It's over. Which is why you should push the party back if you are not at medium. The other option that you can do is just hitting the correct number of approval points, which is typically medium, while also having activated the first part of their character's story. For Astarion, it's the fight scene. For Shadowheart, it's getting her to tell you about the wound on her hand. For Gale, it's getting her to tell you about the glow, etc. For romancing him as a good character, when we're doing a chaotic good run, I'm going to end up being able to get the Hello Darling scene before the party, which is the first one I'm going to show you. But doing a lawful good paladin one, we'll have to wait until the party to be able to romance.
Dead. Good.
Since I don't have any mods installed, I'm going to actually want to the correct pace that I normally would play it when I'm recording for like a challenge run, like an ideal run or something. If I'm collecting clips, I usually have mods installed so super fast for everything. That is the trick of being a content creator, is all the stuff that
Here.
going to get us. Not because I need us, but because if I decide I want to finish this file, I'll want them as a summon there. I like to use summons in Act 3 to not just be cannon fodder, but to also assist in different
You've
things.
come to save
If
us
you're on
from
the
this
submarine-
place.
If you're in the submarine,
From this place, you'll free
you
us.
can have the summons go and unlock
The exposed
levers,
brain
so that you don't have
quivers
to
in
risk being those
expectation.
areas, and then you can just lock them
Please.
behind the door with
Before
the
they
bad guys,
return!
and it doesn't matter.
They
And then when you're
return.
doing the fight with Castor, you can have your summons, even ones that like Gale summons, stand on the different platforms to draw away Castor's power. I do have to tilt my head a little bit because my webcam is like right in front of, or I guess I can do this. It's still thinking.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us.
I don't know if anyone else gets this reference, but Us reminds me of the Gelf from Doctor Who. I've never done a mod that makes Astarion into a woman. I have a tendency to, when I install a mod, until another patch comes out that breaks all the mods, I just keep them all installed. Which I learned the hard way is not always the best idea, because I accidentally left the mod installed that was the realistic erections, and so when I was doing a specific challenge, it caused the game to break in such a way that Cazador, when he was getting ascended after killing Cazador, Astarion standing there naked, and I had to edit the scene with like eggplant stickers because he was helicoptering around with a realistic erection. Oh, if YouTube would have let me show the real thing without me being smited by that demonetization button. I always try best case first. Because if I fail, no biggie, but if I succeed, I get the additional dice.
You notice
And it's nice to
edema,
die.
a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
So far, time more like I have
The brain lifts from the
that
skull,
mod that lets you change.
but you
what they look
notice an
like in the mirror.
opportunity.
I have used
You
that
could
mod to
cripple
make
the
my
strange
tab
creature,
look like
making it
Astarion,
more
romance
subservient should it prove a
Astarion.
threat.
So we were both him. It felt like watching one of Neil's vlogs.
We are free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
The creature pauses, listening. Something behind your eyes seizes in recognition.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are
It really
needed.
depends on what I'm in the mood for. Like, if it were real life and I was dating Astarion, I probably would pick Spawn Astarion just because it would be easier to have a relationship with Spawn Astarion. But as far as like what I typically do is I typically ascend him, but I'm also don't attack the brain. I need to hit.
To the helm we go.
I always attack the
We are
brain.
going to the helm.
I tend to prefer Ascended Astarion. I'm definitely an Ascended early. I am a sub in real life, so I prefer that kind of relationship than. But he does have something about him that I wouldn't pick for myself anyway. But that is its own essay. It's not released recorded yet. I wish we got to keep Lisa when you do self-origin.
Abomination.
I think it would have been cool.
This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Even if you don't want to keep him that
My
way,
head.
you should
What is this?
just see his romance. Even if you save scum. It's
You
worth
are no
it.
thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Because I am
We carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind flayers. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. As for that thing, it will remain tame as long as it believes we are thralls. It may be of use in the fight to come.
Dialogue unless I was recording it, but since you guys are here and I'm recording it, I haven't seen it. Oh, is it really quiet? It might be how far away I am. Let me see if I can fix that. Turn down the desktop audio. This mic is not always the nicest mic in the world to me. Try it on stereo. Let me know, is that better? Is that audio better or louder? If not, I can move the microphone closer to me. As far as the stream name goes, sometimes I am just a little bit too much. Resist the urge to say fuck your face every time I post something on a stream. Because I can only say that so many times. A little bit. I have it turned all the way up, so obviously it's not that. It might just be OBS. Properties. There's a plushie? No, I did not. It won't let you drop links in the chat unless they're approved, but if you want to leave that as like an actual comment, it'll let me approve it, and then I can go and look at the link for the plushie. I just have links turned off in the streams because I don't know what I did to trigger this, but those weird people that like try and sell Binance crypto coin scam stuff have decided that I am the channel, and I had to ban the word Binance. I don't want to have to call Neil in here to try and help me with this microphone. But I might have to. Maybe I have the wrong microphone on. Is that better? Microphone-wise? Maybe I had the wrong microphone on? No, it's still not showing up in the... This is what I get for doing this on my laptop, because I can't bring the PC into the closet, which is the only room with good lighting. Let's see if I put a noise gate on it, if that'll back on.
Back to default. No! Not
Everything. I have to force my husband to come in here and help. Now it's not even. There it goes. Testing. Did adding the expander help? Cutting out. Oh, because I have the noise. My PC unplugged itself in this process. Of course it did. Of course it did. 1 second. Somehow I unplugged my PC. Yeah, it was cutting in and out because I had a noise gate on it. It should be doing better now. I totally forgot I left the noise gate on, which is what I use when I'm recording, so I can be like this while I'm doing voiceover, like I'm an ASMR channel. Somehow I kicked, you know when you have a laptop and it has the plugs and they have like that center plug? I kicked that somehow and unplugged it. Is it sounding better now?
Swift and lethal. You bow, or you break. You prove surprisingly
Turn the games on a little bit. Okay. Oh my god, yes. Okay, so this is a random number generation, but this potion of speed is the most helpful thing that you can get as a randomly selected thing in the entirety of the prologue, because it will make it so that you can do everything in just 1 minute. I am going to loot these guys, because I am going to need some of these weapons since I don't have any mods installed. I am going to wield myself and Astarion without using a feat, because Rogue, Druid, and Ranger are 3 classes that can all naturally do that with nimble weapons. And it gives me bonus actions that make it a little bit easier. Oh, good. That's good. Thank you. I normally do everything on the PC, which I don't change anything on it because my husband has it set up so that when he's doing like game production meetings, everything is able to go off appropriately in OBS while he's showing off things that they're doing for design elements.
The ship won't be able to take another dragon.
This is my first time setting it up by myself. I am not techie. I am a writer and an editor, and my day job is I'm a legal editor now. I used to be a book editor. So I do grab a lot of the stuff in the prologues just because I'm gonna sell a lot of it to be able to buy some of the better weapons, specifically for Astarion. I'm gonna skip talking to her so far because I know exactly what I need to grab for her. It doesn't benefit you in any way to talk to her either, even if you're romancing her, until you see her.
Scra. How many hosts of these gay infected?
Yeah.
A rune. But for what?
I feel like in real life, I would love to go. The challenge of her not wanting me would make me want her.
The console appears dormant.
Not to mention, like, have you seen her? I don't think so. I did hate Shadowheart for a long time. But it's honestly since I'm jealous of her, and I came to the realization that I was jealous of her, and then I stopped hating her.
The parasite, then discomfort fades,
I wish
and another sensation
I wish I could be
washes
more
over
like
you.
her, and how she handles coming out of her cult.
Authority.
And it made me incredibly jealous of her. But I should have known that that was the reason, because I kept dressing her in slutty little outfits. Because
You feel
have
the
you
biomechanical
seen
brain of the
her hip dip?
console process
Like,
your command, and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts.
I will say there are some characters that in games that I just
because
do
you
not
have
like.
a Gith with you.
I do not like Pan Am and
Dangerous
Cyber.
company.
And it's not like I hate her. I don't find her attractive. And I'm pretty sure it is because she is just incredibly strict. And I'm like, she would never be into me, so my brain just deletes her as any kind of prospect.
More that Gith have a problem with everyone else. But there's more important matters right now. Survival. Let me come with you.
I do
We can
wish I
get
had
off
a
the
modern
ship and
girl,
watch
though,
each other's
because I
backs
hate
along the way.
Shadowheart's hair like this. I hate her fringe
Shadowheart.
bangs. I don't know why, but like I want her to have like a sweet bang, so you can see her. Like, there's just something about the fringe, not fringe by itself, because her with just fringe is fine.
It's nothing.
But like the
Trust me.
side and the
Enough
fringe
of this
together,
chatter.
like squaring her
to get
face
to the
in,
helm. Now.
I
She's
dislike
right.
it so much. Like,
Lead on.
why did she willingly do that to herself? So when we're done with this stream, I will probably edit it down. But I'll leave the stream itself up so that everyone can enjoy me having a really bad ADHD day.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say. Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own
You're so
judgment.
tall!
King Yank.
I think it's interesting that when you give your character dark brown eyes, that anytime the light hits your face, your eyes turn kind of a green color. And I think that's interesting because I have dark brown eyes, and when I'm recording and I have like a soft light right in front of me, you'll see it sometimes in videos, my eyes will look kind of hazel green, but they're not. They're brown, but when you like shine the light directly in my eyes, they look green.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
Like a really, really ugly
Connect the
green.
nerves. Nerves. We will connect them.
We need to get out of here now.
What's hiding here?
before they strike.
I forget how long this opening can be.
Very well. Damn these imps. I need to reach the translator.
I stepped just a little bit too far out. Normally you could do that all in one go, but because I had to step around Shadowheart, I'm one movement off because Shadowheart had to stand in front of me.
Need to stay focused. Let's make this.
You better not miss. Make up for it.
I will ascend.
One time I decided to attack Shadowheart out in front of the chapel after not saving her to see what she would do. And she went to fight me, and she was like super aggressive, and she was like, I won't stop, or I can't remember what she said, but something like she wouldn't stop or she would defeat me or whatever. She throws Sacred Flame and the I remember whatever it was, I turned it into a sword because I'm just flabbergasted at her audacity.
The helm's alien transponder. You made it in time.
My face is so fucking blue. Okay, I am gonna see this long aspect. And the one that follows it. I don't think this is the long ass cutscene. Especially since none of what is important about Astarion takes place during that. Just as a heads up, I am gonna long rest a lot, but I won't be consuming camp supplies most of the time when I do it. This is because when you long rest, it pushes the story forward with different camp scenes and cutscenes that have to happen. And there are some that are unique to only if you long rest before certain points that give you a lot of approvals that you absolutely need to do if you want to make this work quickly and efficiently. And I would like him to say, darling, I was just thinking about you before the party. So I did not choose to be the
As
Dark
you
Urge
wake,
for this.
the tadpoles
That doesn't have
squirm through
any
your skull.
effect on whether or not
Other
you
than the
will...
infection, you're more or less intact, but it'll all be the tadpole.
Yeah. That does not in any way affect how easily that you can or can't romance Astarion. If you want to romance him without finding out he's a vampire until Act 2, you absolutely have to do the Dark Urge, because you will have more cutscenes and you have to time all of your camp rests appropriately. It took like 4 or 5 attempts before I actually filmed that challenge to actually memorize the pattern that I needed to follow for the challenge. I did choose to be a half-elf. With the exception of Drow, it really doesn't matter what race you choose to be as Tab or Dirge to romance Astarion as a hero. But if you pick being a Drow, there are unique cutscenes that happen at the Goblin camp that will cut you out of some fire and approval points. So it's a little bit harder to do it as a Drow, so I'm not going to be a Drow for it. But you can always make up for those or wait to have it happen at the party.
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible? True.
Doesn't really matter.
Seems like we're the lucky ones, judging by all the corpses strewn about. I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
For Christmas, I wanted to do like my own version of Vlogmas, which means I have to record all of those videos really far in advance because of how long they take to edit. I was recording one on Char day before yesterday, the audio for it. And the things I had to say about Char, I was
You might
like,
want to reconsider calling her a friend.
Shadowheart would hate
Looks like she
me.
ran off without us. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
I will say, if you want to romance Astarion will be the good guy, and you want to do it quickly, you're probably going to have a harder time romancing her along with him. They do not have approvals that line up very well early in Act 1.
We need each other, and we both know what's
Same
at
with
stake.
Carla.
Can't think of better company.
Ironically, you can get a lot of Astarion approvals and romance Will, because Will and Astarion in Act 1 share a lot of approvals.
One thing, just before we go.
It wasn't the approval mod.
I wanted to thank you
it's
again.
Still installed.
For freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to
What
run
mod
right
made it
past my
break?
card, but you didn't.
And where the fuck is it installed at?
I'll remember that.
I
Lead the
have
way.
to have it installed in the wrong folder. Because I deleted everything in my folder that I named mods. I'm not crazy, right? You all saw the 10 approval box from my mod pop. I can film my Will approvals on the video. I can't say seriously. I'm gonna sorry, yeah.
More of those wretched things. Let's get in and out. Better stay back. One strike could be lethal.
My faith will protect me.
I just waited. She would. Right.
Can't give up. Not
Hi.
now. Time to meet your maker.
I'm so used to using mods that I
Perhaps our
completely
survival
forgot that I
isn't such a
needed to
distant
do
prospect.
it.
My faith
When I do mods, I
protects
do
me.
all of it on the ship, and I dress them like I'm dressing Barbie dolls. Because I mean, have you seen Shadowheart and Astarion? I am dressing Barbie dolls.
No one stopped me yet.
Okay, so I am going to grab some of these characters. The RNG on Mind Flayers to drop a speed potion is really high, and speed potions are one of the most valuable potions in the game, in my opinion, especially if you have Astarion in your party. I like to outfit Astarion, keep him as a rogue, but I like to make him a thief so that he gets a second bonus action. And then I put the necklace that gives you Misty Step on him. And then I give him 2 weapons. And that allows him
Fall
to
by my hand.
be an absolute menace to society.
All for me.
So, when I got this game originally, my husband and I got it on PC, which is why I tend to play it with a controller on the computer. I'm one of those people where the first way that I learned to play a game is how I will always play it. Like, I learned to play Final Fantasy XIV with a mouse and keyboard. I cannot play it with a controller. I just can't. Hi.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered.
Where is he so good?
There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Oh, they fixed where it clips on... I'm gonna say this because I want to be on the
I
ground.
was hoping for a kind soul.
They fixed the clip where it,
Well,
like,
not to
makes
worry.
his shirt, like, clip into his bottom half.
Not a word. Let's
Do I
try
need
to
to be
keep
on the ground
that
this time? No,
lovely
I don't.
neck of
Do I
yours
want
in
to
one
anyway?
piece. Hmm? And you.
It's got to be how far
keep
away I'm.
your distance.
It's
No
got to be
need
how
for
far
this to
away
get
I'm moving
messy.
from the mic.
I
I
need
keep
her
leaning
alive.
all the way back.
Stow that blade, or I'll show you
He is
just
artsy.
how messy things can get.
Promises, promises. But
Yeah,
I
there
have other
are
business, I'm
a bunch of
afraid.
really early scenes, especially
No.
ones that aren't like
I saw
official
you on
scenes.
the
They're just
ship,
camp conversations.
didn't I? Not? Splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks did to me.
Got it all wrong.
Don't lie to me.
Your mind twists.
The urge I have
You're
when
looking
he
out
asks
of
me to do
unfamiliar
something to say
eyes,
yes, sir.
prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
So in that moment, where we're seeing the light and the fear, I have this feeling that we're seeing the moment where he's actually waking up from the pod, because that is the conversation you have in your head when you crash on the beach for Origin. Oh, I'm still flipping up a bit.
You're not one of them. They
I'm
took
sorry if I
you,
cough like off and on
just
again.
the same as me.
I still technically
And
uploaded.
to think,
My voice is
I
almost
was
back
ready
to normal,
to decorate the ground
and
with your innards.
I immediately went and recorded
Apologies.
like 10 video essays the moment my voice was back.
A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion.
So interesting fact, you do get
I was in
approvals
Baldur's Gate
from
when those
doing
beasts
that,
snatched me.
but they don't pop up because technically they're not in your party yet. But the mod I have installed reads the plus and minus from the original code. There are some issues that it has though. If there's something that's added, like additional cutscenes were added to the evil ending, the way that it is told where to look for something, because it was additional scenes added, it doesn't know what to look for, and it just says not found for everything. And I need to crack it open and fix it, but then I would have to pay for the unpacker, and I don't have any money right now to pay for a huge piece of software.
Is that so? We clearly move in different circles. So, do you know anything about these worms? Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into
I love
a
how when
monster.
he laughs, his little
What
fangs
else did I
pop
expect?
out.
Although, it hasn't happened yet. If
I
you can
have-
find an expert,
I
someone that
have
can control these things,
resting
there
bitch
might
face most
still
of the
be
time,
time.
but as soon as he comes on the screen, I just smile like a dumb little. I almost said a bad word.
Well, yes, of course. But first things first. You know,
Come on.
I was ready to go this alone. But maybe
I
sticking with
don't
the
like his
herd
first outfit.
isn't such a bad idea.
I mean, maybe
And
that's
you
like a
seem like
controversial
useful
opinion,
person to know.
but it looks too much
All
like it
right.
would be something a bard would
I
wear.
accept. Lead on.
Not that I have an issue with bards, but I have an issue with the way they dress. Okay, so now that I have Astarion, I'm only going to get one more character before my long rest. You don't have to get this character.
There.
It does nothing for you in approval points, but I'm
But
going
it's
to do it
hurt.
anyway. There's also
That
no
thing's bound to be
approval
dangerous,
benefits
even if injured.
to keeping this guy alive.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
It is funny if you try to kiss him, though. It is.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Unless you're too good.
What's going on with that room? Looks
Approach the sigil on the stone.
Time to get our third
Magic
husband.
glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if
I'm so sorry.
malfunctioning.
I have to...
It looks slightly dangerous.
Am I the only person in the world who, the first time you played this, and she's like, it's dangerous, that you went, I have to touch it now? Like, somebody says don't do it, like, don't look! You have to look. There was a banter that Karlak said where she was talking to Gale about Mage Hand and was kind of implying using Mage Hand for spicy activities. And now whenever I think of Mage Hand, I cannot not think of Karlak doing spicy activities.
Perhaps I should have clarified. A helping hand.
It was helpful to me. In real life, my husband acts like Gale. Like, unprecedentedly acts like Gale.
That's it! Go on! Keep pulling!
It is! It went right over my head. Oh,
hello.
it does not have his
Waterdeep.
wizard updo,
Apologies.
though. It
Usually better at
did
this.
remove that one. It makes me wonder where I have the approvals mod stored. Like, it's obviously in my user files for, like, user app local Larian Baldur's Gate tree. Like, obviously it's there because it's calling on it, but I don't know where it actually is. And I've been trying to get it to work for 2 months straight, so I'm kind of a little offended that it's working on the laptop, but it doesn't on the computer. So I don't know, like, where is it in the computer? But
At magic.
I digress.
Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
So he gets a little long-winded with this one, but he makes a funny joke, so we're gonna
I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savory propulsion.
He is so pretty.
Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side.
I did marry a Gale in real life, I'm biased.
How about you? How did you survive the fall?
Right? No, Slayer, right? He doesn't always. He didn't in my approvals only run. And he broke my heart. But when you pick him as a human, like when he does the human path and he chooses to be with you over everything else in the world, and then and the like proposal, that's my whole heart. I was just like, I don't think he's boring. I love that he gets really passionate about things and goes on rants about the things that he's passionate about. I could sit and listen to him talk about things that don't matter for hours. This is a funny one. I took control of the ship. I landed it safely. I saved it.
That vast burning wreckage behind you somewhat contradicts your story, but here you stand.
I almost
so who am I
did,
to argue?
technically.
Still, swashbuckling heroics aside, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region, were you not?
A lot of people say Will is boring too, but I really like Will. He reminds me of like Regency Bridgerton romance kind of vibes in the way that his romance is very long and epic and poetic, and then he proposes. It even references it because when he proposes to you with the acorn, and you have the option to say yes, yes 1,000 times yes, like quite literally classic literature, romantic reference galore. Gale or Will? I do think that both of them get overshadowed sometimes. I think too, it kind of sucks because Will is a completely different character in the final game than he was in the early access, which I went over in my essay about him in Mazora. But the actor, he had to come in and film all of the lines and do additional mocapping 2 months before they went gold. So he didn't get to spend as much time with the character as everyone else did. He had like 3 or 4 years worth of time with the character. It also, the majority of Will's story was supposed to take place in the upper city, and the entire upper city ended up getting cut because Hasbro wanted them to have a sooner date than they were expecting to have, which when Theo was recording for Will, he didn't know it was 2 months before the game was going to go gold because they were still working on the upper city. So he came in thinking that he was going to have all this time. They actually recorded some of the content for the upper city, and then ended up getting cut while he was there recording. It really sucks because I thought he did an amazing job, and Will is really funny. Like when you have him, some of his banter with Astarion can be kind of mean, but in general, Will is a really funny character.
The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation,
but his story is so short because so much of it got cut that people don't put him in their party enough to really get to know him.
It is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you?
We all put Bobby Carlack in our party, though, for...
Surgeon.
Very specific.
Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle.
I could knit it a cap.
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
I could not knit it a cap. I don't know how to knit. I wish I knew how to knit.
But I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
I am one.
As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
So we're about to have one of those little moments where I'm going to explain something that'll be in the final video. That'll be edited down from this live stream. So in a moment, I'm going to go from ADHD fun Kitera to Professor Kitera.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved, or something to that effect.
Pretty sure if we halved it,
but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return.
His facial hair is one of the biggest reasons he's so attractive. Because if you've ever seen him, like Google it, Gale without his facial hair, jump scare. Yeah. That is a good line. Okay, so at this point I have recruited Shadowheart, Astarion, and Gale. You don't necessarily have to recruit Shadowheart or Gale. Actually, no, you do need to recruit Shadowheart. What am I saying? So I fucked myself up and I lost my train of thought. So at this point, as you can see, I have recruited Astarion, Shadowheart, and Gale. I don't need Gale at all, but I wanted him here. This is the point in which I am going to long rest for the first time. And the reason that I am doing this is because if I go up further to where Lizelle is and I get her, it will change some of the conversations if I go a little bit too far. You could recruit Lizelle if you wanted to, but if you step too close to the grove, it will no longer give you the first night camp scenes and conversations, and instead will give you the second night and you will lose valuable approval points. So I'm not going to risk it, and we're just going to camp right now. So as you can see, there is an exclamation point over Gale's head. This is the go to hell scene, I like to call it. But whoever you speak to first on this first night, there is a what I like to call hidden approval, which means it is approval points that will not show up with the approval mod because they're not in the dialogue, and my mod only shows them in the dialogue. It's only 1 point, but we want all the points we can get. So we're going to talk to Astarion first.
So we're resting here. Turning in for the night.
So like, sweet when you talk to him this first night. Like, he's timid and unsure.
I suppose. I'm not really sure what I expected, really. This is all a little new. The night normally means bustling streets, bursting taverns. Curling up in the dirt and resting is, a little novel.
Anytime he makes one of his, like, cringy smiles, I lose my shit. So, this is something only Ranger or Druid can do, but it's a unique option to both of them, and he actually has, like, a cute little vampire Easter egg line.
No. Tea isn't really my drink. I'll be awake a while anyway. I need some time to think things through, to process this. You sleep. I'll keep watch.
So, obviously you see here approval points that pop up, so I'm going to thank him for letting me sleep while he keeps watch.
The pleasure is all mine. Sweet dreams.
One of the great things about Astarion is he doesn't have very many high disapprovals. He has a lot of approvals and a lot of disapprovals, but he tends to approve higher than he disapproves. My personal opinion on why this was balanced this way, again, I'm not the actual dev, so it's just an opinion, is because in story mode, it's really important for his story that he wants to romance your character because you're the leader of the group. He feels safe and protected with you because he will go through the steps to romance you. He is one of the characters too who the game will push you guys towards a romance. You would have to actively upset him to not be able to romance him in most scenarios, which if you try to do every single solitary quest, side quest interaction, you can upset him to that point, and that's where a lot of people opening weekend ended up screwing themselves over. I technically screwed myself over opening weekend, but it wasn't because I screwed myself over. We were playing it, my husband and I, as a joint game, and the PlayStation 5 was still kind of glitchy, like they'd only done one patch update at that point for the final game. And we were both interacting at the same time, him with his girlfriend Shadowheart, me with Astarion. I clicked yes to having sex with Astarion. He clicked something to Shadowheart, and the game just decided that we both clicked the same option. Yeah, it's not, except for it told me that I clicked no, I don't want to have sex with you, and cut me out of his romance. And I spent the rest of the game that I had, that was a joint game with my husband, trying to make up for it, not realizing that I had perma canceled myself because of a misclick. And the last time we had autosaved was before we fought everyone in the goblin camp because we didn't know you could long rest in between fights. So we could not go back. And I was so frustrated, so incredibly frustrated, and I became absolutely obsessed that I had to go and make my own file immediately the next day so I could figure out how to romance Astarion, because I quite literally got the combo opening weekend, and then it said I selected no, I don't want you. It still haunts me at night. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is another important approval. I'm going to talk to Shadowheart.
What were you two talking about? You and the pale fellow.
No.
I see. I'd be careful with Astarion. Trust is a rare currency. Not sure I'd spend it on someone who drew a knife on me moments after I met them. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer. You seem reliable.
I know she's technically right.
I think you know how important it is that we find someone who
I
can
know
cure us.
in my soul she's technically
Best
right.
if we focus on that.
But with these rose-colored glasses, all those flags just look like flags. Okay, so here is the reason why I had to correct myself and say no, I do need Shadowheart. one approval point. It makes sense that he would say, let's not abandon all caution. He needs the tadpole to be free of Cazador. When you're doing his origin run, he makes it very clear he wants to keep the tadpole and find an expert. If you refuse to let him join you during recruiting, he'll tell you he's going to go and find an expert. So very clearly, he does not want healed. He wants to keep this tadpole.
Caution is a luxury we don't have. Let's rest and wake up at first light.
It doesn't really matter if you talk to Gale, but it does offer you a Gale approval, so I'm just going to do it, but I'm going to rapid click through it like a crazy one.
Go to hell.
Because it's a pretty big approval point.
I've seen hell. Devils. What I do now we have, that's not abstract.
3, I would say, is a big approval
Let's be
point.
up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
I wouldn't be able to sleep either. Like, for days. For days. All I could think about was how badly I messed up. And then I didn't ascend him my first run because everyone on Reddit was like so against ascending Astarion. And up until that point, I really wanted to make him do whatever Cazador was doing, even though we didn't fully understand it. Because I'm like, I want to be a vampire with him. And then I decided to go back on my own in my file and ascend him. And the scene and his character was just so my type that it's hard to not ascend him now. It took me until February of this year to admit that I was an ascended girly, though. Solely because of how people would treat me on Reddit. And treat, not me specifically, but anyone who falls into that category on Reddit. I like them both.
A calm night is a mercy, yet your eyes refuse to stay closed. Every time they flicker shut, the tadpole seems to twitch behind dragons. Gith and the hells themselves have come up, and you will find your life sleep claim.
If you are playing certain races, it will give you like insight into them. If you're playing as an elf, you will think about Arvandor because you'll be like, it's the forest and the wilds that are touched only by the Telquisir, and that is a full-on reference to Arvandor and you being able to walk the trance, and it does mention your trance in that moment. Okay, I do need to update everybody's gear again. What? Put that on.
My faith will guide me.
Trust no one.
One of my favorite features of this is so like I said, I give him 2 weapons. It gives him additional bonus attacks, which is incredibly helpful. And then I'm going to put him in Shadowheart phase because that's what
Which way to the nearest library?
It doesn't necessarily benefit Gale to have a ranged weapon because most of them don't work for him. But I like to have something in every box because if something isn't in every box, I feel like it's
Let's move.
Yeah, I prefer Ascended Astarion story, but I will say that killing Cazador, where you like stab him brutally and you go the spawn path, is incredibly vindicating. Like getting to have that scene and that emotion felt so good. I quite literally pictured my Cazador's face while it was happening. But, you know, you can't stab. I mean, I guess technically you could, because they're going to go to jail for that, but you shouldn't. So this is where... This is where I will pick a healing option here. And this is because I don't want to have Shadowheart out for the majority of the game, because I want to be able to switch out characters and have a more reasonable stack for each different fight that I go into. So this allows me to be balanced with Astarion really well. Also, if I'm ever playing where I'm going to only run with Astarion and not recruit anyone else except for maybe Halston, I am going to go in as either a cleric or a ranger so that I can balance really well for fighting, but also be able to have healing abilities. I am going to pick archery. I don't need to have two weapon fighting because I'm already going to have 2 attacks, but the majority of my attacks I'm going to do are going to be range based anyway. Yeah, I do wonder what was he thinking? Like, when you go through it as an origin Astarion, he tries to talk you out of it. He tries to convince you that your hand is going to slip, that you're not going to be able to do the carving correctly on his back, and that you're going to end up destroying yourself. And it makes me wonder, like, how afraid was Kazdor? He had to know that his number was up, that, like, this was the end for him. And I want to know what was in his mind, because I feel like I deserve to hear how royally fucked he was. I'm going to give her most of the same things, but I'm going to do them in a different order. And again, it's just one of those, like, weird neurodivergent things where everything has to be in a certain order. I'm going to do it with Gale, too. I can't fix it. You know what's funny? I kind of think that Gale looks okay in Astarion's outfit, even though I don't like Astarion's outfit usually. So I like to pick this one not because of the type of spells I do, but because of the arcane sword. So I am going to pick the attacks that I like to use the most. I tend to use Burning Hands a lot because it has a cone range, and I prefer cone range attacks. And I'm also going to pick Chromic Orb, and this is because when you pick the thunder damage for this one, it is really good at destroying walls, which does come in handy in some places. And you'll notice I will put Fog on him, and I also put Fog on her. It's because when I level up again, I'm going to remove this one from him and replace it with something else. And it's quite literally just a placeholder because I don't like any of the other first range spells. I don't typically play as a wizard. I have played every single class, and I've gotten really good at every single class, but I don't typically play wizard or sorcerer. I'm not a magic girly. I am a run into a situation and fucking face up girly. Like, I've been playing Death Stranding recently, and I like to put on those gloves that are like the power gloves and just go into the mule camps and everybody. I don't ever use the guns. So what I'm going to do next can be somewhat optional for doing the entirety of it. Only the first half is really necessary. And that is going to be fighting these looters at the chapel. Specifically, only the ones outside.
You're both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days.
Now, I definitely hate Kazdor with a fiery burning
Got
passion.
ourselves competition already.
But I feel like I also hate Mizora and Mistra to the same level and degree. So for this specific moment, it doesn't always pop up, but if you just outright attack them, you will get a point from Astarion. If you are the Dark Urge and you threaten them in a way that causes you to outright attack them, you don't get a point. You have to select this one. I don't know why. My favorite hack for this battle is to shoot this down, because it will auto-kill 2 of them in one go. As you can see, I have bonuses as a rogue. When I reach the next level and I'm able to select Thief, I'll have even more bonuses. Right now, this will get me really close to this character.
On, can't stay idle. Light on my feet.
And this is the reason why
I'll strike you down.
I like having characters that can have 2 weapons.
Can't afford to let up. Onward.
See if I'm right. Yes! Fucking Shadow! I hate her so much.
Swiftly now.
She is only really useful in Act 2. So he will always, every time, he will hit you with that acid arrow. Every single time.
Make it hurt.
The reason that I'll do his secondary attack first is because if I roll high enough on it to take out someone, I can use his ranged weapon. I basically stack him in that way for that exact purpose. Once I get to the level where I have Thief, he'll roll initiative right away and he'll just decimate everyone. So at this point, if you want to, you could jump into this hole, you could go and fight everyone down below, and you can get all of the stuff that is down there and he withers. Oh, were you standing too close to it? I had that one time I was walking just right here and it was above me, and I stepped on this pad and the whole floor just collapsed underneath of me. I will not. Since I don't have any mods installed, I actually have to go at a reasonable pace. Like I said, if I were just collecting clips to create a video for you and I wasn't actually playing it, I would have a mod that always makes me roll a nat 20, a mod that makes me do a massive amount of damage, and then full modded outfits. To which you could just basically pound your way through the game in no time at all to collect whatever you want. Sometimes I will have to create files solely so that I could go in to get one specific scene that I need to feature in a video.
Yes, here.
And I will play like 20 hours just to get one scene that I need for it. Like that.
Let's play.
It's gonna hit.
Another fight. Let's go.
So I'm gonna long rest in a moment anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can also do the same thing from the other direction. It's just more effective to do it from dropping the brick down and then jumping in the hole, even though you will take a little bit of damage jumping, because they're conveniently all in the right place when you go in at this hole. But let's say you decided you weren't going to kill them because, like, you were romancing Gale or Shadowheart. You could still do it from this direction. You just come in through the door and you get her attention. She runs in and she grabs everyone, and you just skip all one turn, and everyone will move to where that barrel is. And at that point, you can throw grease down as Astarion, and then your next character that has Ignis, just light it up. And it will fall all the way to the back to even where the wizard is. So you could do it either way. It's just faster to do it. Jumping into the hole. I am going to go and get the bits out here because there's another full camp pack out here. It is going to cause me to have one very short temporary battle.
Don't touch me.
So I'm going to go in as Astarion. Oh, normally he gets the very first initiative.
Hungry for the slaughter. This way. Let's do it.
No choice but to keep going.
Girly pop. That is now the second time Shadowheart has got in my fucking way. I just now decided to like you. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. I just finished playing her twice. Once non-romance as Viper, and then once fully romance. It's been a while since I've played. Because I've been doing so many essays. I actually finished the Viper run before I actually did Astarion make as a vampire bride for a Spawn video. So that footage has been sitting in my file for a very long time.
This all day?
But they take a very, very long time to record and edit because each of them is basically 3 essays because there's multiple parts that I talk about that are
But that will fit in my bag.
There are multiple parts in them that are typically the essay portions because I'm talking about the different drow creatures and things that are happening and why I'm following certain choices or why those choices are the option that are for a Lost One player. But they also require me to do voiceover that is for the specific characters along with the essay voiceover. And they do not perform well because they are not what I normally do. So when I do them, I'm tilting my head this way to see past my webcam. It is not in a good location for me. Crap. I accidentally unplugged the TARDIS. Really? Yeah. The TARDIS is what I need for my external hard drive that I record everything with. So it didn't stop the stream, but it stopped the recording, so I had to go in and record. Now I'm going to long rest again. The reason I'm doing it now before I go to the Grove is to get a specific scene that has a purple points. It doesn't really matter if you talk to Gale first or not, so I'm going to go and talk to Astarion first because it's his scene that's going to get us the points we need.
So, not a tentacle to be seen?
Not yet.
Yet. Of course, first sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours.
Please tell me we all put him in Shadowheart's PJs.
Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
So you can select one of these, but if you say not sure, how would you like to go? He'll make a joke about saws.
I don't think poison is for me, nor stabbing, come to think of it. I always felt decapitation was a fine choice. One good swing and then nothing. But we were talking about you. What'll it be?
And now...
A fine choice. Now, to use sword or axe or saw. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario, obviously.
He wants us to believe that he's like some really scary dude. But the bitch doesn't even know that you cannot decapitate someone with a saw in one good swing. Like, the little teeth are gonna get caught on sinew. No, you can't. Just proving to me that all of it's bluster.
See you in the morning. Sweet dreams, darling.
No. I love the way he says darling. And then it really doesn't matter, or Shadowheart, neither of them have approvals, so I'm just gonna go. Like, they don't even have approvals for themselves. It's quite literally just world building elements for both of them, because for Shadowheart, you're just getting to know a little bit more about her. For Gale, he's giving you information on Ceramorphosis, because if you've never played D&D, you might not know about Mind Flayers, and the game did its best to try and make sure that no matter what, you would know what was going on. Which I commend it for. I even have a drink, but I'm still such a thirsty bitch. Okay, I quite literally originally built my channel on the fact that I'm always looking for Astarion. I have no excuse. I don't think there's a person in this world who wonders why I write spicy romance. Yeah, no, I don't have any mods in. I don't know what mod it was. Technically, I have one mod installed. I have the approvals only mod installed that shows all the approvals. I do not know what folder I have it installed in because I thought I deleted all the mods out. One of the mods, I do not know the culprit, caused the entire game to crash so hard the first time I tried to stream that it removed my installer. So I had to go in and remove all those mods. So I'm just doing a no mod run. But on top of getting to see how to romance Astarion, this is something that no matter what platform you're playing on, you could take away how to get through the game really quickly too, I guess. So we're doing a good run, so we're not going to kill them.
Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Unless it forces.
And if it escapes, how will you? Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds
Your ears
in response
look like
to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
I'd be so mad if I had to wait more than a month for something. So what'll probably end up being my squad for this playthrough is probably going to be Astarion and Will, and then the third character will be switched out for whoever is the story moment. That, or it will be Astarion, Shadowheart, and whoever is switched out, depending on how comfortable I feel in a battle setting. So we're going to trick them, because again, we're doing a good guy run. No! No! No, now I have to.
No!
No, I'm not leaving this fiend with a stranger.
Kill them.
No! No, it's so hard, I can't breathe. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. There is a 1 approval point here if you did successfully get them to walk away and you say please to Lae'zel. But we're gonna lose that approval point. We're still gonna be able to do this, but we're gonna lose that approval point.
Your skull aches before you can take a step. And you are the creature. You feel her irritation and indignity. And you feel answers. She knows more about your condition.
Let's get the creature to camp. Then we'll look into the blast.
Oh shit, they're gonna take her down.
I'll tie it up.
You expect a Githyanki to surrender? Imbeciles. Prove you
I was
are
gonna shoot her down.
Join me or die.
I'm gonna join her. But, if you shoot her down, she will attack them all on her own. And if you're far enough back, she won't actually join her.
No!
This is just how we're gonna have to do this. Because I'm a little bit more concerned with having Lae'zel than I am with these characters. But, goddamn it, you don't have to kill them to romance Astarion. Just
still breathing,
for the record, you don't have to kill them to romance Astarion. I guess I got that one approval point anyway.
Scrambled all your senses. Auspicious.
Fucking
But the
Bathsheba!
longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
We're joining anyway. I'm sorry, girl.
Make space, and my might is yours.
So there is something that you can do. It does not involve anyone getting hurt, so I would count it as being a chaotic good choice. So she is actually going to take someone's place.
The mind is strong, but the knees, well, they are a little sore. I'll gladly put my feet up.
It's funny. I always say how my husband acts just like Gale.
Made an ally from
My husband has a knee injury from football.
Call me Lae'zel.
I'll trust your judgment.
So quite
but I won't
often his
trust her.
knees just ain't willing.
Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
It is a great honor, not just with elves, but among humans, to be a half-elf. It is, you quite literally get the best of both worlds. If you wanted to be absolutely good, I guess you could kill Lae'zel, but either way, somebody's dying, so not really good, so we decided to kill everyone else. I think it's kind of infuriating that Gale talks too much, but I also don't know how to shut up, so maybe I'm not the best judge of character on that front.
Not reaction.
She's got all of her. Man!
Indolence breeds madness.
I kind of think, she'll never admit it, but I kind of think that Minthara has a thing for Gale. I think she's like, I could dom that boy.
I hear shouting up ahead.
We should check it out, but be careful.
I like to go into this fight from up here.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
So they say that if you have Timora's embrace for too long, that her twin sister Bathsheba will absolutely hate you. So if you're always getting really bad dice rolls, it's because Timora told everyone she loves you.
Please! There's no time!
You say, Our Lady Timora, Goddess of Luck, Goddess of the Dice, be with me now. I love the way Will jumps down during this scene. It is so extra, and I'm just here for it. If he jumped down like that in real life, I'd be like, whatever you want, sir.
Provoke the blade.
Suffer it sting.
And suffer it sting.
That frame, I believe that's a frame from the early access, but that frame, I liked his version of him in early access. I really wish that I'd gotten to play it instead of just having to experience it through other people playing it, because that would have been really amazing. But I had no idea that it was even a thing at that point. Like that. Forward. One of the best tips that I have for anyone playing any kind of role-playing game, if somebody is a healer, take them out first, followed by whoever can do ranged attacks or magic.
Shall we dance?
Oh, sorry. Because I backed up. I hate Eridan too. One of my pieces of advice for anyone who is doing any kind of role-playing game is if there's somebody who has a magical ability where they can heal other people, or they are a ranged magic dealer, absolutely take that person out first. Like, and it's the same way when I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. I will take out the healer and a mob first. Oh, I like Lysel too. I know that there's a lot of people who don't, and there's some moments, like specifically in her romance, that I don't like, where she has like kind of a frat boy feeling. But in general, I tend to like Lysel. But I also tend to like characters who are mean to me. Like in Stardew Valley, I am absolutely smitten with Haley. I have to marry that girl every time. I can't not. Like, there's a part of me that wants it to be Sam, but it's always Haley. So the reason I like to come into this fight from up top is because if you come around from the side, you actually have to move further before you can do any ranged attacks. But while you're up here at the top, even if you get caught on your other characters, you still are able to do a range attack. But when you come in from down here, a lot of your characters will be behind this wall. So they have to go up onto this before they can make their attack. So this actually saves time and movement speed. There's a really good chance that Shadowheart's going to miss. I'm just laying it out there. She's probably going to miss.
Time to strike.
I need to respect her, and I forgot that I need to respect her.
Taking position.
Unfortunately, I'm outside of my normal range as Lysel. But because I'm in my second wave for fighter, I can do her additional move. And since I am going to do another long rest very soon, I am going to waste her action surge on her. You're going to be the best character. I tend to like to pick off characters more so than I like to do anything else. Unfortunately, Astarion is not having the best attack rolls in this game. He can sneak too. Astarion is not having the best attack rolls in this game. Normally, he gets really good attack rolls, and his stack is pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's RNG, so when you come into this game, if you're getting really bad dice rolls or getting really bad attack rolls, there is a really good chance it's going to be that way for the rest of the game. It shouldn't be, but when you're looking at the code, like looking at the code from like a modding perspective, there is a way that it's stacked where certain RNGs to repeat themselves, which is how people are able to set up a mod that allows you to always roll a nat 20. But looking at the way that the code inside of that is set up in the packet,
I wonder what they wanted here.
if you're getting bad rolls, you're kind of stuck with it, unfortunately.
A horde must have settled nearby. More will come, and more after that.
So I don't need everyone. I don't need stuff off of everyone here, but I am going to take everything off of, because I'm going to outfit. He is getting better, like, not great rolls, but I am going to outfit my most important fighting character.
All right, what now?
There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
I hate Eridan. He's
them
such a
straight to us,
racist.
and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
And who the hell are you again?
Show some respect. This woman saved your pathetic life.
Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate.
His story is really sad, but that doesn't justify his character.
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
Yeah? Well, we'll always have somewhere to do that. So there's not really any approval for punching Eridan from Astarion, which I feel like is a missed opportunity in my personal opinion. But if you're able to convince Eridan to stay, you will have an easier time later mugging some bodies that have some valuable items on them. You won't have to wait for them to run off screen. So I at least am going to attempt to get him to stay, just for the ease of myself later.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
More goblins could be on their way.
He definitely is stronger that way. I tend to give him the roll because I want the additional bonus action, because I put all of his strength into the weapon choices that I give him. And when I can do more than one action, I might not take someone down as fast, but I can incapacitate or bring down other characters as a group faster, so that I can then do a AoE attack on everyone. Okay, so this is the next moment where there are Astarion approvals here. So this is one of those questions where you have to ask what qualifies as a good choice. In my personal opinion, I don't think choosing to offer to go and talk to Kaga is necessarily a good or bad choice. I think it can be seen as a good choice, but I think wanting to focus on yourself and a healer isn't bad either. It really just comes down to what it is that you personally want to do. If you choose to offer him help, it is going to give you a -1 for Astarion. If you refuse to go and talk to Kaga, it's going to give you +2 and you can still go talk to her. So this is one of those, it's your own personal call on what you think is good or bad. But you could still get through this pretty quickly without even having to get that approval voice.
Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him.
I disagree.
Thank
but
you
okay.
for your help out there. I'm Zevlor.
I will match your energy. I will match your energy.
Well met.
So I disagree with you, Zeb.
I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve. There have been several attacks by different monsters. The druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here.
Pattern.
Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
So as you notice, I have not said I need a healer to him yet, and I actually have a reason for doing this.
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though... I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
So the reason that I made that choice was because if I say I'll see what I can do, I'm going to get a negative Astarion approval. If I refuse to help him, then it's up for debate whether I'm being good or not. But if I have my own temporal concerns and I need a healer because I have not asked about a healer yet, it will change the conversation into a trajectory that will not cost me or net me anything positive without interfering with my choices as a good player character. Kind of like a little cheat.
Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the Inner Grove. They've withdrawn there to prepare this damn ritual of theirs.
I didn't know there were people who hate. Oh! No! It used to just go straight to nothing. Okay, so we're going to net the Astarion disapproval here.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we
So
won't make it to the city.
The last
You'll
time
find
I did
the
that,
druids at the heart of the grove.
he just told me where to find Nettie,
Please,
and then it ended the
make
conversation.
them see sense before more lives are lost.
He just over it. He and my dice are over here, just trying to play mind games. Okay, we're gonna hit Arone for a second because I need supplies. Huh?
Refugees, adventurers, well met. Is there anything you need? Act fast if just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
You notice I'm not selling everything. I have some selective reasons as to why I'm doing that, and that's because I want to ensure that I have starting equipment for the other characters. Just in case I don't buy anything for them in between. So
Sylvanas, guide your path.
calm down. Please.
I won't leave them behind.
You're going to get us killed.
Well, hello.
Can't give up now.
Okay, I am going to step away for just one moment. I just realized I don't have the screen that I made in my thing, so I'm just gonna open the picture and move the picture over for the item that I made. And I will be right back in just a moment. Okay. Back. Yeah, I like to have Ranger because I like the class set that comes with it. I like that you can do dual weapons. I like that you can also heal and have summons, but that you're innately stronger than a druid. Like I originally tried playing druid, and I've just naturally found Ranger to be a better fit for me. When I'm playing D&D IRL, I'm always a rogue, so I guess it kind of makes sense that it came naturally to me to spec Astarion because I naturally play a rogue. So there are some things that you can do here that don't really affect whether or not you get approval with him, but they can affect your game. Talking to Lee Cal and
leave. They're
one of them.
kin.
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once. Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blades and spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay. These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
So it's not going to make any difference to Astarion whether I talk to this group or not, but whether or not they choose to stay and how you choose to do Roland's story can greatly affect your battle with the Rookkin in the last act. So in my humble opinion, if you hate fighting Lorroakin, you better convince Roland to stay and then save his siblings. What's really nice about being a ranger is that to get him to stay, I don't have to do a dice roll this time.
What? The dangers of overpriced taverns and muddy streets? I think I'll take that risk.
The city's not going anywhere. I'm staying. We're needed here.
Zerg. Fine. We'll stay. If we survive, it'll make for a good story, I suppose.
Thank you, Roland.
Alright, before I get Will, I am going to go and do what I was saying I was going to do myself.
His gaze is following me.
I'm going to question Zoru. Since Lizelle doesn't actually hurt Zoru in this questioning, she's just kind of, for lack of a better terms, an aggressive bitch. I would say that it still falls into like the chaotic good realm. Even Karlach, who is a chaotic good, doesn't have a disagreement approval of your action.
By Mordai's eyes, another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
Yes. So I could be mean to him. Like, I feel like if I picked number 2, I wouldn't technically be mean to the character. But just being like, yeah, you should do what she says, I feel like it's not mean an evil character, because it's just a neutral action given that she doesn't actually hurt him. Whereas if she did attempt to hurt him and we let her do that, that would definitely fall into the evil spectrum of choices. See what I mean by Shadowheart will just not like... It's really hard to romance Shadowheart and Astarion unless you are willing to make some bad choices.
You saw another gith. Where?
On the road to Baldur's Gate.
I don't blame him. Like, he
Near the
watched
mountain
everybody
pass.
like die.
Saw us for we saw it.
I
Turned
like
its blade
bards
through
when I'm
Yul's belly.
playing like
Straight to the
actually
other
at the
side.
table there,
No
especially if they're in your group. But
Kin
it's
must
not
have been in
as
a
fun a
hurry.
class to play in
The map. Show me.
like the story choices, like the actual dialogue choices, like the bard scene that you get to do as a bard are incredibly entertaining. And everyone should play bard at least once, if for no
You
other
can
reason
keep
than
your
that.
innards.
But as far as like actually stacking your abilities as a bard,
you're
it's
not going to
so heavily
eviscerate him.
support that it just isn't
I was
something I
hoping for a
enjoy
show.
playing in Baldur's Gate.
Cool your blood. I'll indulge you soon enough.
Yeah, I
Gods, deliver me.
to think that Roland was really that important. Like, I for a long time thought that he was just being like full of himself, but he wasn't. He was actually really crucial and important and a really good fighter. I think it's interesting that Roland is a wizard, but his outfit is the starting outfit for a sorcerer.
The locals prove compliant. A useful trait.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
You compliment her here that she's really good at interrogations, because again, all she did was interrogate him. She didn't actually hurt him. You get another Astarion approval point. Again, that's one of those areas where you get to decide whether you think that is a good or bad. Some of these little points where it's like one here, one there, specifically like here, are things that you could skip and you could still romance him, which when I do the lawful good version of this, because I'm going to do chaotic good now, lawful good later as a paladin, you'll see you can still romance him. It just means you have to wait until the party scene to hook up with him.
A shell so thin requires little to crack it. The T-sling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective.
Oh, I have to give everyone a
Purification cannot
warning,
wait.
depending on how far we get in this playthrough tonight. I have it turned on so it won't show nudity. So if we get to the hookup scene, I'm sorry to disappoint you, I have that turned on. Otherwise, it's gonna lock the stream when it happens.
I am unfamiliar with the, well, I shall not say culture.
I like Roland's
Custom,
story.
perhaps.
I didn't like him
You
at
will
first.
educate me on matters of this.
I thought that
Fey
he
run.
was kind of a like self-important jerk, but his full arc was really heartwarming the first time that I actually finished it.
I'm proud of you kids.
So just for reference, we're not going to do it, but just for reference, if you go in here, there is a moment where if you let her shoot the goblin, you get 1 approval point from Astarion. You also get it from Will. Will also approves of just outright killing the goblin in a cage. I don't think that's a good choice. Sorry, Will.
Children! Look who's here.
Go on. Give me a best shot.
He's gonna take Lae'zel's place.
Not bad. Again,
do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this. You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
In early access, he still thinks about a demon in this scene, but he's actually thinking about Mizora. Because his original story is completely focused on him saving Mizora because he's indebted to her, but he wants to be free of his debt to her. And there's a lot more like vibes between him and Mizora that mirror vibes between Mystra and Gale, if you know what I'm talking about. Like saying it without saying it, but with a hairbrush.
Better friends than the ones hitching a ride in our skulls, at least. I'm sure you know the stories. Doomed to shed our skin and become illithid. They say there's no coming back. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles.
I wonder what it would have
Not
been
yet,
like.
anyway. Could
Like
just be good luck.
if anyone has gone through this,
I'm
what
not
was it
so-
like
Your minds collide
to
once more.
play this
Will
game
chases the fiend ignited
not
with rancor.
knowing
She
until
is an
someone told you
infernal war devil,
that
a
the
threat to the
tadpole would
living,
turn you into a mind
evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her.
Because I know that there's got to be people out there that didn't know that. Like,
Advocatus
I know there's
diaboli.
people who this game is the reason they now play D.
Her name is Karlak, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
In my opinion, of all of the origins, I feel like Will is the easiest one to slot in Tav's place. So, like, I know that technically Dirge is our Tav origin, like our custom origin story, but I feel like as far as story arcs go, Will is a heroic character who already has an established heroic personality. He's already on one mission coming into the story, and he gets sidetracked by another mission. And you start his story being misinformed by your patron that brings you to a choice that will radically change the rest of your entire playthrough very, very early on in your playthrough. That involves another player character. And that is that is the peak arc as a DM that you want to place a character in, that you want from the start of their story them to make a radical decision that's going to shape their character's arc and trajectory, that brings them out of the comfort zone of the character that they created. So I feel like of all of them, Will is the only character that really has that. So to me, Will is the perfect origin to your Tav, to your custom character. Not that I don't love Dirge, and I don't think that Steven did an amazing job. I just feel like Will fits the art much better. Specifically this version of Will. I would not say that about early access Will.
I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze in.
If I must, I must.
I like how you think.
The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, Blade. Name strangers gave me. My friends call me Will.
It feels like he's talking
Excellent.
directly to
If
us.
we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you.
Oh my. This is going to be a fun journey.
He's so impish.
Any questions, children?
want to forget to put shit on.
The hero at heart.
Fight.
Can't keep the goblins out forever.
Let's
This is
get
no
going.
fortress, and we're no warriors.
Sharp as ever.
I like how whenever you're doing anything for Will, you can hear Mithora laughing in the background. It's like a really nice touch. I really like Hellish Retreat. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Hellish Retreat. So, I like to repel, just good distance for if I wanted to range attack myself. I don't tend to use armor, so I tend to swap that out for burning. What I prefer.
What to do?
Okay. So even if we had not agreed to help Helga, you can still go and help her. You don't have to.
No. Don't take your eyes off my hands.
I'm gonna skip these kids. It doesn't benefit me in any way in an Astarion run.
Please,
it will cost you to interact with them.
Let my daughter go right now!
And when I say cost
She's
you,
a
I mean
thief,
cost you
hellspawn,
approval
and you will wait for Korga's
unless you
judgment.
fail, then
Now
you're just
get
gonna
back.
cost you from stuff being stolen.
Let me through, Ragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Again, you can talk to Arabella's parents, but it will cost you approval points. One of the easiest ways to romance Astarion as a good character is to not do every single thing you can possibly do on the table. To be more strategic in your choices. Because he is, in the first act, he is an evil character, so it makes sense.
Kick back.
Go wherever I
Force
want,
my
lady.
hand, and I'll show you its claws.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh,
I do not like
I understand.
how
You.
bigoted
Apparently,
the druids
Korga
are.
wants to see you.
It's a very
Go ahead.
non-druid way of thinking about the world.
I do wish I could understand you.
So there are a lot of interactions here in the grove that you can do that neither affect you positively or negatively with Astarion. But as I'm showing you how you could romance him as a good character, there's a lot of things that I'm going to skip if they don't benefit my playthrough as far as like making something easier for me later that I need.
Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat?
I'm gonna
I
assume
will
that Kaga is
imprison the
a
devil.
wood elf because a
And
lot
I
of wood
will
elves
cast
actually
out
feel
every
closer
stranger.
to Maliki and Sylvanas than they do to Corellin. Wood elves, unlike high elves, have a lot of different aspects to their character. Like, high elves tend to be, I would say, serial monogamists, that up until they meet their theremin, they tend to be more adventuresome, but once they meet their soulmate, they tend to only have that one person. A lot of times, even before they meet their soulmate, they'll only have one long-term relationship, whereas wood elves tend to be more polyamorous in general. Even when they do meet their theremin, they tend to still be very polyamorous. They also mentally age differently than high elves do. Specifically, their aging was only mentioned in Dragon magazine in an article on elves. As well, theremin was also something that was introduced in the Dragon magazine, which is Dungeons and Dragons official magazine when TSR still owned the company. And then I would say that obviously drow are their own race, even though they're technically an elf. So whenever I say something is natural to an elf, I'm specifically talking about high elves. Unless I'm like very clear that, oh, this is something that only wood elves do or only something high elves do. Although there is a lot of crossover, I'm talking about high elves 9 times out of 10.
Girl. You mean parasite? She eats our food, drinks our water,
then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Courga.
Now, is that because you like it when he walks over and stabs the girl in the eye? I'm gonna go for nature because I have a nature proficiency. Ah! I was so sure that Timora was gonna embarrass me again.
I hear the Tree Father's spirit in your words. It is as you say. Sifisif, Tila, to me. Out, thief. My grace.
You know what's really fun? Doing the Leviatar scene with Astarion and Shadowheart as the only people in your party.
Halsin isn't here.
Before you know he's
Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
They have a different dialogue, and it's got such inappropriate life.
Wolves. I didn't realize you were frightened of wolves, Shadowheart.
I know that look. You're
Honestly,
wondering
I
why
think
I
it's
was in
perfectly
pain
normal to be afraid of a wolf.
Let's just
I don't think that's a
clear
weird
the air
fear at
about
all.
that now. It's just an old wound that hurts me from time to time. Nothing to be concerned about.
I'm petrified of
It's
clowns. I
nothing
feel
to
like
do with
that's
the
an
tadpoles,
irrational
at least.
fear.
In case your imagination is in danger of getting away from you.
There's only one clown in this world that
It's
I
just
like, and that is
something I have to
Vizirali.
live with.
And it's because, like, how can I hate Vizirali? He's more of a gesture, anyway. The Joker, I think, is such a great villain because he genuinely makes my skin crawl. Like, he genuinely makes me uncomfortable.
Quite a lot, if I'm being honest. But it always passes quickly, so I can manage. They're ravenous predators with fangs like daggers. It's hardly an irrational fear to harbor. Don't be surprised if I'm reluctant to face it.
It's not an irrational fear. I don't have that fear, but I can see why somebody would.
Well, thank you.
And, like, I'm sure that
I
there's people
appreciate
out there
it.
that are, like, afraid of bears. Okay.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster?
Monster? Too kind. A demon, more like.
So, here, if you wanted to make up for an approval, you could just say, honestly, I just wanted to see what would happen. Which, again, I feel like is a neutral option. It's neither good nor evil. Especially if you saved Arabella. Now, if you killed Arabella, I would say that that was not a neutral option no more. But I don't need the approval point.
Yes, you would say so. I know your kind. You see only villains and victims. A viper bears her fangs defending her brood. I call her mother. You call her monster. No matter.
If she's defending her brood from a child,
and the
then
right
yeah,
is resumed.
monster.
We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders.
Hey. When you say the date night without knowing he's a vampire, do you mean like hooking up with him before you know he's a vampire, or are you talking about the Leviatar scene?
And mine perish if he stays. You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire. I want you to provide your services to Zevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the
I also
Viper
don't like her hair.
must strike.
Like, I do not like her hairstyle.
You will do more than speak.
We are not going to tell
This tale
Zevlor that
ends
we
but
are
one
planning on
way.
helping him.
With the Outlander rot cleansed, and the grove forever shrouded.
we are going to talk to him, but we're not going to say that we're helping him with the goblins just yet. So I'm not going to go talk to Nettie. Again, it's one of those situations where it doesn't net me any benefits. You can go talk to her and lose one Astarion approval point if you agree to take the potion, or you can kill her, which I don't think is a good choice. I also don't think taking a poison is a good choice, so each their own on that front. I'm also not going to talk to Volo. Again, it does not benefit our run to go and waste time with. But if we were doing a run like
feed you to a null.
Like the Viper run where I'm doing everything, I did every single solitary option just to make sure that there wasn't a approval or disapproval.
Thank you.
Sorry, not approval.
Don't
Wasn't
know
a
what we do
unique
without her.
choice or non-unique choice to the Lost One cleric. And oh my god, it made the run take so long. If you do everything you could do, it makes it take so long. Like even with knowing how to get through battles really, really fast, it was like 79 hours straight just to do one straight hard run.
Likewise. Arabella?
Thank you for helping me.
I'm gonna keep this because I'm gonna feed it to Dale.
Safely, not yours.
It's my job too.
I feel like it's a pretty useless ability in my opinion, so I don't mind it. This is a hungry boy. I am going to take the time to talk to Ethel though, because it will benefit me and that there is no story.
Why, hello there, sweetness.
Also, who doesn't want to talk to Ethel?
Talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh.
So fun.
There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore.
When I first started playing, my first playthrough where I went through and I did as many things as I could possibly do took me, I want to say it was like 160 hours to do everything, because it was like my first time playing solo and I was kind of getting the hang of the game. At this point, it takes me anywhere between 50 to 70 hours to do a playthrough where I have to check every single thing off to look for approvals or to look for unique interactions. But I think that's just because I've gotten used to the pattern of the game. Like I've memorized the pattern of the game. I definitely did not do it this fast before I became a content creator and put so much of my time outside of my 9 to 5 into this.
Aha! You take a sup at that and you'll feel right as rain,
If you're a sorcerer, you could tell her that you think that this concoction was made really well and she'll give it to you and it's entirely.
As you down the potion, a comforting warmth spreads through you.
I swear you're still as peaky looking. Oh, I've seen it all.
I hope it
I
picks
once had a
Astarion
who'd
for
been
who is going
caught
to have make the
dabbling with a
comment.
dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Tell her. But if she pulls out a pot of oil, run.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
As you recount your
Shadowheart
adventure,
just is not
Auntie
going to
Ethel
like me in this
nods
playthrough.
along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet. My heart goes out
See,
to
this
you
is why I don't
truly.
ship Astarion and Shadowheart. They have so little in common. I actually
see
ship
no
Will and
sign of a
Astarion.
tentacle yet.
They have like the whole
But that
I
could
hate you, I
change
hate
in
you, I
an
hate you, I
instant.
love you vibe going
You
on.
need help.
But
Serious help.
But also, they have
I've
a lot
of
of
lotion
approvals in
here
common,
that could do
especially
it,
around the Goblin Camp.
Yes, I may have something at home. I've collected some interesting bits and bobs over the years. You'll have to stop by my house, just at the edge of the forest. Let me mark it on your map. I'll be heading back soon, so I can meet you there. Now, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Nay, bother, love. Come back anytime.
Normally, I would buy a high potion off of her, but I don't need it, so. I'm gonna talk to him. Just so that I bet him, because
Thanks for
it'll make
fighting
my
off those
conversation
My
more
selection's pretty slim.
No helping it. We're exposed now.
Is that, like, because you're going around and exploring everything? Because I could, like, when you're exploring everything, it makes sense for it to take a really long time. It also could be just the setting that you play it on. When I first started, I played it on normal, and then when I wanted to learn everyone's romances, I went and played it on the story mode. And you'll go through it a lot faster when you play it on the easier mode, because I don't feel like that's self-explanatory.
Thank you for protecting the child. If the druids are this far
She
gone,
can't. Oh my god!
then
Oh my
it's
god!
not just
Thank you
goblins
for
we have
saying
to
that
fear.
she can't hit
So we
anything.
could
I forgot. I
risk
need to
violence
respec
here,
her again.
or
I
face
forgot
it for
again.
certain on the road. Quite the choice, isn't it?
Yes, actually, he does. So, Astarion actually has multiple places in which he makes comments towards Will. So the first is that when Shadowheart in a banter asks him if you could taste any one of us, who would you taste? He will pick Will. When you do the conversation where you are talking to him at camp and he's talking about how the other people would taste, if you don't have everyone in your camp, he'll make comments about Will. So I did do a video. I unlisted it. I only have my essays listed right now, but I did a video where I showed every single interaction in that conversation. He says that he thinks Will is really sweet. And then if you pick Will, he says no, Will would be too sweet. Then the next conversation is if you choose to stay with Will and break up with Astarion, he'll say, I don't blame you. Will's the kind of man I always pictured myself with. He also has comments where he will say that he finds Will incredibly attractive throughout the game. And in the same vein, he also has one interaction where if you don't find out that Will is Ravengard's son until you enter into Act 2 and Will offers up this information, he'll go, oh, you're Ravengard's son. Wow. That is something. And then kind of make that face like he makes at Tab when he's romancing you. And on the flip side, if you are Will and someone else stabs Astarion and you have Will in your party, Will make a comment about how sexy Astarion's voice is. If you get Will before you go to the Goblin Camp, but you skip that second night interaction, the second time that you rest, and you make that your second night, he'll have this conversation where he asks if you've ever heard a banshee scream, and then he will tell you when you select, oh, Astarion's drawl is worse, he'll be like, he is quite a flirt, isn't he? But he's a charming sort of cad. So the two of them kind of have a lot of banter back and forth where it's very clear that they're both attracted to each other. But again, it's one of those things where, like, if you don't keep Will in your party very often, if you get rid of him because they dislike each other because he's a vampire and their first couple of banters are, like, really mean to each other, you won't ever get to the point where they start to like each other. I did not listen to anything Zevlor. So, if you offer to help Zevlor with the goblins, it's going to cost you approval points, but you do have the opportunity to offer to get rid of Kaga.
You saw what they were willing to do to a child just for trying. It's Korga's influence. Without her twisting things, I believe the druids might see sense.
And we need to get rid of her.
A low thought. But I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered it. But the druids would slaughter us. We'd have to get close to Korga, within striking distance. I can't manage that. But they've already let you pass once. You're taking a risk for us. We'll see that you're rewarded.
Astarion
I'm still
does approve
hoping
of killing
Korga can
Saga.
be swayed from this madness. But if not, leaders
And I'm
need
not
to make
ruining
tough
anything in that
decisions.
because we
We
did
do
that
what we
entire
must.
interaction in the Astarion season run.
Just Zevlor, Tilly.
Because we did do a
We're
run where we did
civilians
every
now.
single one of Astarion's first approval choices.
This is a nightmare.
Which was fun. It was fun, but oh my god, does he make you fight everyone? Everyone. Astarion wants you to fight everyone.
Looking at you is painful enough.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things where, like, if you don't have Will in your active party a lot, you're not going to uncover those things. You also have to be in a position where you're willing to romance Will and select him instead of Astarion for some of those interactions to happen. I do a lot of runs where the only purpose of me doing the run is to collect clips that I'll use as B-roll for essay videos, or because I want to research something when I'm writing a video and I want to be able to, like, have either that actual verbal scene or I want to be able to talk about it. So I've seen a lot of things in the game that aren't what the standard playthrough is going to be if you've only ever played it
You know
once or
what
twice.
I really miss about Baldur's Gate? The food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
I don't care for fish. Red meat, now, that's a different matter. Rare as can be. Dripping.
Why he says dripping should be.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
Well,
I'm gonna
unless we
talk to
find
them
a
to
cure,
get an
you won't have any teeth to chew it with soon enough.
Not from the act of
You're
talking
a
to them,
true
but
soul.
from what happens.
You
because
can't
of how
die.
it-
Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
So you can do this with the goblin, but I'm actually going to use the fight with the goblins. So I'm going to use my unlimited wisdom here, which is why I'm even wasting time on wisdom. The number of times I have rolled a 1 in this
I'm
exact
so
interaction.
Sorry. It's our brother, True Soul Edwin. He's injured, and I wasn't thinking.
To this day, I still do not know if Edwin is their brother
It's taking
in
something you'll
religion,
never
like
get
how
back.
brothers and sisters,
The
or if
injured
they're like
man locks
legitimate
eyes
brother
with
and
you.
sister.
The parasite writhes in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits, yours to shepherd.
Protect them.
Yeah, the
true
rat
soul.
giant line. They definitely do not start out by liking each other. They definitely have an enemies to lovers arc. So do Will and Karlach, but in a different way.
Please!
He's with the Absolute now.
A true soul. Thank the Absolute. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you.
Don't fight Karlach
Do
in
you
the
have orders for
overworld, though.
us?
You'll regret it.
We were reporting to Edwin.
We were looking for fugitives. Survivors from that ship that crashed
I will
farther
get
west of
points
here.
if I have
But
him
instead
kill
of
the
them,
owlbear, but I'm not going to do
Edwin
that.
found an oil bear. An angry one. We managed to drag him away, but the beast's claws had already done their work.
Because like I said,
I
Astarion wants to
told
fight
Edwin not to look in
everything.
that cave. It was filthy with
He
oil bear
is
tracks.
the definition of a murder hobo.
What? And just leave Ed? I suppose he'd want us to go on.
I was so
Find a way to honor his
offended that he wanted
sacrifice.
to kill the
May the
Outcare
Absolute
in the
guide
approvals
us.
only run that I didn't even want to include it in the video. I also died doing the fight because I didn't know it was going to attack me. Because it was attacking them, I didn't know it was going to come over and attack me, and I was like,
They're
gosh,
clearly
damn it.
devoted to the absolute, whatever that is.
So the tadpole allows us to influence
This
others.
is where I'm going to get the approval from Astarion.
How very interesting.
Don't get too excited.
You know, Will and Karlach do technically
Influence
end up
comes at a
together
cost.
if you don't romance either of them in the game. And you send
Until we
you
know
send
what
him
that
to
cost
the hell.
is, the only
It did like
reasonable
show
approach is
a
a
little bit
cautious
of that in the video with Mazora.
You have the ability to
But he
manipulate
does
people,
he
make
does
them bend to your
genuinely
every
end up
whim,
with her. She
and
even
you'd be
mentions that it's
cautious
easier to be
about
there with
it.
someone that she loves.
That's no fun.
So this is where I'm going to get the approval point. It's that basically I'm just agreeing that if we can make our enemies malleable, the better for us. Again, it's one of those things where it's like up to the player character whether they feel like that's a good choice or not. I don't think there's anything wrong with using our lithic
I'm so
powers
glad
because
you
we're only
agree.
using them on bad guys. A lawful good would disagree. A lawful good would be like, we need to think about this before we do it. A chaotic good is going to care more about their end result than the path that they got there. A lawful good is going to care more about the path that they got there than their end result. And a neutral good is going to care more about adhering to their own sense of morals than either how they get there or the end result.
Strange. It looks healthy, but it's stone
An
dead.
easy way to think about it, if you're
Who
new to
cares
D&D,
about some pig?
is
It's
if someone
dead.
is lawful,
Let's go.
they follow the laws that are true to their specific culture. If someone is chaotic, they follow selfish intentions. And granted, selfish does not necessarily mean a bad thing. It just means that you are making choices that are selfish. Self-care, like, you know, putting time and energy into
A
yourself,
question
journaling,
for our
protecting yourself.
master monster hunter.
And then anything that is neutral,
How would you
not at the end,
approach
but neutral
killing
at
a
the beginning.
vampire?
Like a neutral good, neutral
To
evil,
start,
true neutral.
lure it into the sun, drive a stake through its heart.
Got distracted by Will's voice.
Just
And
curious.
anything that is a neutral means that it is going to be about balance. So if you're ever trying to figure out, like, you picked an alignment, what would the choice be for my alignment? If you're a lawful, no matter whether you're good or evil, you want to do what society expects of you, your society. So a lawful good would do something totally different if they were a drow than if they were in it. If you're chaotic, you want to do whatever is going to be the most self-serving, and if you're neutral, you want to do whatever is going to bring the most balance.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back.
It is a little bit more nuanced than that, but
We'll
that's
never
a
fix
really
these
easy way if
brainworms
you're a
if we
beginner
stop
to
and
know how to
gorge
make
every
choices
piece of
based on
carrion
your
you
alignment.
find.
Let's see if we can get it. It doesn't do anything for us, but it'd be fun if we could get it. Oh! For a ranger, you're not very good
The
at
ball
looking at
seems
shit.
to be fresh, only a few hours dead. But you can't find any
I
sign
do
of a
think
wound.
that Damon has a
See?
thing for
Nothing.
Karlach.
Come on, we're wasting our time.
I have seen all of them, but I haven't like went in and clicked on like gone and tested any of them yet, because this is the first time that I have sat down and played Baldur's Gate that isn't on the PlayStation since February when I finished the Viper run. I know that feels like a really long time when I think about it. Like, that's how long I've been only doing essays and no
Have you wondered what people
challenges.
will say, Will, when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils,
Dead goblins.
conquered them all.
Dead travelers.
This will be no different.
Were
So
they
this is the
heading to
moment where
Druid's
I
Grove?
wanted Aridin
I've always
to
had a
stay at the
soft
Grove,
spot for the
which is to make
confident
it
ones.
easier to hold.
They always disappoint there.
Otherwise, you have to stand there and wait for him to finish his conversation with the people and then run off into the distance. Or you'll activate a fight with him because you touch his adventurers.
Looks like an ambush. A clumsy one.
Get over there! Surround them like!
17,000. This laptop could not handle it. Like, I don't even know what mod it was that broke the, but it was bad. The laptop I'm on right now, because I'm in my closet, it has the best lighting and sound. The laptop I'm on right now, it is technically a gaming laptop, but it's like from 2017, so it cannot handle having a bunch of mods installed, to my dismay. And I didn't want to be out in the living room / kitchen on the PC recording because my husband is using it for game design stuff right now.
You spotted us. Good. It's like they say, no fun in skewing a pig what doesn't know he's cooked.
And the reason that I was like, I'm going to talk to the other people is because I'm going to attack them for an Astarion.
That's supposed to be a threat.
And as they're bad guys, that is a good
Got a
decision.
set on you, all right. Almost makes me like you. Almost. I'm gonna enjoy pulling off your skin when we're done.
What if I rip your skin off this rope?
Time to press ahead.
Time for a cull. Time to move.
I'm still not sure to this day if he's saying time for a cull, like to cull the weak, or a cuddle, like to cuddle. And that might just be because of it. The only thing I don't like about this fight is because everybody's up on the fucking roof. I don't really get to make full advantage of all of the bonus actions that I so painstakingly gave these characters.
Look good with a few arrows sticking out of your guts.
Got to press on.
I forgot to respec her again. I can't even blame it on out of sight, out of mind. There's no excuse.
This is my time.
No
time to
excuse.
waste.
Yourself over.
Time to kill.
What's the plan?
Jump, but it's not an option. So there's on the PlayStation there's a mod where
No holding back.
it's the Dark Urges equipment, and there's a necklace in it that allows you to become the Slayer at any point in time in the game. I definitely like that one, but I like putting those outfits on everyone. They all have outfits where their chest is exposed, so you can mix them with underwear and then color the underwear, and it looks really cool. Which is how I do that, like outfits that I have in Viper, where Astarion has like all of the cross leather straps across his chest and then he's shirtless is one of the pieces from that combined with the underwear from Carla. I do use Shadowheart for a lot in Act 2. She has this power that's called the Guardian Spirit Power. When you do it on radiant damage and you run through all of the shadows, it does so much damage. A lot of them will be dead in one go.
Here we go again.
Oh, yeah.
There's blood in the air.
Now that I've done that, because I wanted to save that, we're gonna long rest. This should, because I haven't gone to Karlak yet, this should give me the Starry Nights. If you romance Astarion, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's not, which means this is gonna be the bites. And I think it's because I didn't
sleep well,
learn about
flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong, or maybe you just get lucky.
The efficiency comes from doing it over and over and over again. The number of times that I have romanced this man.
I swear.
If you can have a parasocial relationship with a fictional character, man.
I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
He absolutely would have lured me back to Cazador's palace. I would have come for it. I, one time, had Astarion in just his underwear. I don't remember why he was just his underwear, but he was in just his underwear. And we activated the bite scene. Hey! And, it has a totally different vibe when he sneaks up on you in just his underwear, man.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get.
Kobolds are not technically
I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer. Fight better. Please.
A strange
sensation
courses through you, and your companion's
I like the
mind
tiefling's teeth and
unfolds.
its teeth too. So
Secrets
I just
are
obviously I just like sharp teeth. When I say I don't know why, I don't remember if it was for personal nefarious reasons or if it was because I was getting clips to use in Thirst Trap short nefarious reasons.
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to
There's
trust
a mod
me.
on Nexus that lets you
And
replay
you
all
can
the romance
trust
scenes.
me.
Nefarious.
Thank you.
Just agreeing to
Do
everything
you
with him
think
gives you
you
so
could
many approval
trust
points
me
here.
just a little further?
Call me an
I
idiot,
only need a taste.
but IRL, I would
swear.
be dumb enough to trust him in this moment. Like, I want to say that I'd be like, no, I'm not going to let somebody bite me when they just showed up and tried to bite me without my consent. But I am that dumb fish.
Really? Of course. Not one drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
He doesn't try to kill you on purpose, so, like, your trust is not place. It's just
It's like a
he's
shard of ice into your neck.
a virgin
quick,
vampire.
sharp pain
If you know anything
fades to
about
throbbing
like vampire
numbness.
lore in general, D&D lore, or just
Your
in
pulse
general,
quickens.
virgin vampires have a really hard time stopping themselves the first time that they drink human blood. So of course he has a really hard time. I am, since we're all going to be thirsty together, since we are all Astarions, girlfriends, boyfriends, or other friends, I'm going to push him back because that is the best of Neil's voice acting in this segment. In some mythologies, I use this when I'm in my own books, but in some mythologies, vampires have venom, and in some cases, venom just stuns you, but in most mythologies, venom actually causes humans to have spicy arrivals. So it's not that bad to be a vampire's dinner. At least you're gonna come and go at the same time.
That was amazing.
It's the breathing for
My
me.
mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy.
When you wear a girl dinner t-shirt for Gale, it's because he eats the orb. It's a Gale dinner. When you wear a girl dinner t-shirt with Astarion on it, it's because you're the girl that's dinner.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling.
Now, I know everyone of every gender likes Astarion.
This is a gift, you know.
I am a girl, so I'm going to keep
forget
saying
it.
girly pop.
You watch as he stalks towards the forest.
Because I am.
Stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
Ironically, when we got this game, we hadn't really seen anything about it except for that it was D&D. So my husband got it because it was D&D we could play together. We're on the beach, and I see Astarion in the distance. And I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to this character. And he immediately jumps me with a knife. And my husband sighs, and he goes, you're gonna like that one, aren't you? I pretty quickly picked up on the fact that he's a vampire, too. And then as soon as I said, oh, it's because he's a vampire, my husband went, oh, you're only gonna like that one.
Good morning. How do you feel?
You can get an approval in this moment, too, when everybody else in camp comes over to talk.
It'll pass. Just be glad I'm not a true vampire. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn. Like my good self.
I want to get that sticker
All of a
that says
vampire's
Astarion's
hunger,
juice box.
but few of their powers.
And then I'm gonna get the sticker that says Astarion's juice box, and I'm gonna put it on my phone case so that I have my Astarion girl dinner t-shirt and then a juice box on it.
Oh no. I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone or something wants me alive.
Oh, he
They've
does.
changed the rules.
My hubby and I have been
Standing
together
in the
since
sun,
2016. He's
waiting
had a
for
really
river,
long time to get to know
wandering
me.
into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane.
Pretty sure he does me better than I
activities
know
now.
myself.
As for my other
Sometimes so
quirks,
much
well,
it can be like really
we can figure those
frustrating
out
that
in
he will
time.
predict what I'm gonna do before I do it. I thought that I would romance Gale too. Like, we got Gale before we got Astarion, because we just happened to go that way. And I was like, oh, I'll probably romance this one. Like, he's cute. He looks like my husband. Like, this is my vibe. I have two types when it comes to men: dark-haired nerdy boys, or blondes that are absolute assholes. There is no in between. And then there was Astarion, and I was instantly smitten. There's just something about white hair that just Does not matter. Any other, like, just like white hair. And it's true for girls too. Like, I had such a crush on Storm when I was a kid, and Halle Berry played her.
You're such a sweetheart. I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
A vampire.
When I was growing up, I wasn't supposed to
That
watch
explains the
anything
pallor.
that was
Given our group's
Christian,
nature, I
but
don't
I would
see
like
much harm.
sneak
We're
and
each
watch
monsters
things
in the
anyway.
making,
And
after
occasionally,
all.
my mom would make exceptions, like she did for the Mummy, because Brendan Fraser was in it.
As long
which
as
was
he
my
keeps his
my movie that was my
fangs off
bi
our
awakening.
necks.
But I got to see Interview with a Vampire, because again, my mom wanted to watch it because Brad Pitt was in it, and she did not know I was sitting behind the sofa watching it, and I was like, I had to have been that. I had to be less than 10, because it came out in the 90s, and from that movie is my oldest memory of vampires, and I became instantly obsessed with vampires, and it just has never gone away. And it's only made worse because I'm a millennial, so I was a teenager / college student during the peak of vampire fandom, so I got to live that good life. Good life. I had a t-shirt, it's technically back in Oregon, with all the stuff that's like my collector stuff that's still at my mother-in-law's house, that says Team Damon on it, that Ian Somerhalder signed. I'm gonna go with I trust him because it's the same amount of approval points.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty to work together as a team.
I just better not wake with any holes in my neck.
There now. We're all friends again.
Astarion is a
Shall
Greek
we
name
go?
too.
There's a long day ahead of us.
Not quite spelt the same way, but Astarion is a Greek character who's a minotaur, which, fun fact, so before they actually went through the phase where they did casting, Astarion was originally supposed to be a tiefling and not an elf, and then they decided to change that. So if he had been a tiefling and his name was Astarion when he was going to be a tiefling, he would have had minotaur horns, and his character is named after a character who is a minotaur. Okay. Before I forget. Oh wait, I can't! I didn't go and get withers!
Is that blood? No, never mind.
There's only one solution to my problem with Shadowrun.
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too.
Oh, nothing would give me greater pleasure. Back in the thick of things.
That's the only rational solution. I typically, when I play a game or watch a TV show or read a book franchise, my top 3 favorite characters are usually going to have at least one, if not all of them, be women. Like, I tend to be attracted to women more often than men. But for some reason in this game, I like the male characters better. I'm just more attracted to men. So I tend to, not always, but I tend to play with just the male. I haven't. Yeah. Because the lighting's better in the closet. Yeah, I had to jerry-rig the cords to get it to fit in here. Yeah, I do have a camera on. That was mine. I haven't seen the new Interview with a Vampire TV series yet. Ironically, speaking of Interview with a Vampire, our next video actually involves Scientology. So Tom Cruise actually makes an appearance for just a second in our next essay. It's already done, it's just not live yet. Like, I scheduled it out. Yeah! Astarion does kind of remind me of Lestat too. I really like Lestat. I like Lestat way better than Louis. I tend to like more like gray hairs, like that TikTok song. They say you smell like gray. What can I say? Gray's my favorite color. I got Fog out because I was going to do something with it, and then I remembered I didn't do it in this run, so Fog just kind of sat there. Okay, so I am going to pick Thief because of the action fast hands, because for me, having the bonus is way better. So I have 2 videos for already recorded for Shadowheart. One is on if Shadowheart should be poly, and then the other is on if I really hate Shadowheart. I have not finished editing them yet, but I'm thinking that not next week, but the week after that, I'm going to do one of the Shadowheart ones. I'm just not sure which one I want to do, and then the following week it will be my video on the Boo-Boo. Like I said, I went in and I did like 9, counting shorts. I went in and recorded like 9+ videos this week. Because I spent the time I was sick writing because I couldn't do anything else. I could not even like make it through a day at work. The Interview with the Vampire series? Yeah. But I'm gonna give you Knock is the single best spell in this entire game. I kid you not. I can knock my way into the Underdark. I can knock my way into Shar's temple. I can knock my way into the Temple of Baal. Like, you need knock. Everyone needs knock. I don't have another one recorded about Astarion right now because I was planning on doing the follow-up video to... I have ones written, I just don't have them voice recorded yet. I was going to do the follow-up video to or should Astarion be a father in the Can He Have Kids, Should He Be a Father series that we were doing. And it was going to be if Ascended Astarion should be a father. But those videos have been getting age restricted. And when they get age restricted, it doesn't change like monetization, like that doesn't bother me. It's that they don't go into the algorithm, so they don't end up getting viewed, and then the video itself doesn't get viewed, so the next video is punished in the algorithm. Unfortunately, YouTube does do this thing where if you have more than one video in a row that does not perform to the same level as the videos around it, they will not recommend you to anyone who hasn't hit the subscribe bell. Not just the button, but like the actual bell turned on. And it's really frustrating and unfortunate. And it's one of those things that creators don't talk about because we don't ever want to sound like we're complaining. Like, I don't ever want to sound like I'm complaining. I still want to do it. I realistically am like, will it be worth the time to do it if no one ever gets to see it or hear what I have to say or interact with me? I was really excited to get to do the Should Astarion Be Poly video because as someone who was poly, I feel like people have like a really bad interpretation on it, and I feel like it's really important to talk about. One of the other videos I have that I recorded, I actually will be in, like my face, will be not about games, but we'll be talking about the situation on TikTok with Day Caller Girl and Princess Treatment Lady, and the way that trad wives have been essentially misappropriating things that belong to the sub-dom community, because as somebody who is a sub, that really deeply bothers me, because it ends up giving subs a bad name. Like, it makes people think that we're only ever being like abused by men, when that's not the case. And as an ascended Astarion girly and a sub, it, like, that should not be how people are seeing those situations, because that's not what's happening. Everything is a consensual act between people. But I do want to get to, like, talk about more things. And sorry, I'm trying to look around my camera to pick the right spell. I want to get to talk about more things and do more things. There's so many things that I love, especially like when it comes to vampires and paranormal things and lore, and have fun with getting to do a bunch of different kinds of content and explore a lot of different characters too. I also have another one that was written that I haven't voice recorded yet, that is on if Astarion can eat or taste human food, because I feel like that's a really interesting topic. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Vampire Bride theory too. I was really, like, if I'm being totally like raw honest, I was really afraid to put that video out. When I did it originally, I wrote the script for it like a month before I ever sat down to record it. And then when I was editing it, I stayed up the entire night one Friday night and all the way into Saturday after my 9 to 5, just editing that specific video. And at the time I only did challenge videos, and I'd only done like one other essay, and it was in passing, but it was what I really want to do. Like I said, I went to college first for cultural anthropology and then second for an English degree. So writing rhetoric essays has been my whole life. And I really wanted to do that, but I was really afraid because I saw the way other people who were ascended girlies were being treated. And in that essay, I not only came out as an ascended Astarion fan and girly, but I also came out as a dark romance writer, and I also came out as being a sub. And those are all really personal to me, but they're all really controversial topics in our current climate. And I was really genuinely afraid that people were going to be so angry at me for having those feelings, that I was going to isolate myself, and that I would never find a community, and that everyone was going to hate me, and it was going to be filled with nothing but like rage comments. And instead I was surrounded by a lot of other people who love Ascended Astarion and who love that kind of romantic dynamic, and I really found my place because of it. And so it has like a special place in my heart beyond just the topic itself, even though it is a fascinating topic, and a lot of people don't even think about some of those things because they don't typically play runs with vampires. Yeah, I can understand why they didn't make him too possessive in the game. He does get really possessive if you try to break up with him, and kind of toxic, which, I mean, I totally understand that. You're breaking up with him. Like, no one wants to be broken up with. But I do think that they did dial it back a little bit. I think that he could have been more, like, physically aggressive with us too. Not like in a DD kind of way, but in like, the hand necklaces are nice. They added those kisses where he grabs your face into the hand necklace, because that was something that we were asking for. But then they made Tab afraid of it, and we had to like be like, no, why would I'm gonna say she, because I'm always playing a girl. Why would she be afraid of her partner? And so they took it back, and now she smiles. But like, I think that they could have given us more. Like, I wish we had a scene where we talked about our dynamic, because absolutely 100% there is no way that we didn't have a conversation with Astarion before he turned us about what exactly our dynamic would be, especially given the way that Tab interacts with the world and the way Dirge interacts with the world. And I feel like some of those things were missing. And I did like touch on them very briefly and if Astarion would be a good dom. But I feel like because they didn't give us those scenes, it kind of gave uninformed consent to us being transformed unless you knew what you were signing up for. And I would have really liked to see there be more true to life for sub-dom relationships, because I feel like not enough fiction does that. Like there's a lot of dark romances out there that try to feature that relationship type, and they make it so that basically he owns her, but that's not what it is. Like, it is an exchange of power. You're both equal. You're just different in what your role in your relationship is. Like, and there's the saying, people will say the sub has all the power. Technically, that's not correct, because it, like I said, you're equal. You would never do something your dom doesn't consent to either. But if the sub is not okay with something, that's never going to be on the table. Like, it's not like he swoops in and chains her to the bed and owns her forever. No, if she's tied up, she won't. And I think that's a really important aspect of sub-dom relationships that doesn't get explored enough. And even when I'm reading, sometimes there is not clear consent, and I just get really like it. You don't even have to say it. Like, you at least can have it written in a way where it's like their body language says it. But I could rant for 20 million years about that, especially about Astarion, because who does not want a rant about our pointy-eared love boy? I love a boy.
Ever heard of a vampire called Cazador? Well,
oh my god, yes.
I don't
the
think
leg
so.
hook. The leg hook.
Why? Friend of yours?
There are so many
family.
men on TikTok
Nasty fellow.
who
if the
do
histories
not
are
get
accurate.
why women like that.
I imagine they are.
And I'm just like, oh, you boys are telling on yourselves. You're telling on yourselves. I really want to just start responding to people on TikTok when I talk about the leg hook, who are like, I don't get it, and be like, tell me you've never pleasured your woman without telling me. Okay, so the next one is a pretty easy approval to get. Yeah, I feel bad for the women who don't get it. Like, I feel really bad for them. So I am gonna disconnect two of my characters here, because I want a specific scene to pop up a certain way. And you can only have it pop up that certain way if he's in your party and no one else, or if you have a mod on. You know what else? If you have the mod that lets you replay the romantic scenes, and you do the first spicy encounter with Astarion, it pulls I don't know if their gender. I almost said she, but I shouldn't be assuming. The person who modded it, they pulled the animation directly from the game file. And there's actually an animation that you do not see on screen where after Astarion bites you and climbs over you, that he lays down behind you and spoons you. And I'm just like, oh. There's also, if you pull this scene out, there's a little picnic. Like, he planned a little picnic. Okay, so the barn scene is really fun.
A succession of quick bangs.
There's no good or evil in it, like you're killing monsters, but this is a good, chaotic, fun way to get some approval.
Is having a bit of fun.
So obviously you want to try and open the door.
Wait, don't interrupt them. Let me do it.
Well, that
They sound disgusting.
I love him so much in this scene. Astarion does not think anything through.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I wish there was like a boundary break one for console. So as someone who has dabbled with the mod creator for console, if you make a mod and you want it to be available on the console and not just the PC, it has to go through an approval process, because Sony is really picky about what does and doesn't get approved, because you have to prove that it's not going to break the game in any way that is considered unreliable to Sony. So there's a lot of really amazing mods out there that are just not going to be available on console. And that breaks my heart because it literally comes down to the fact that Sony just didn't approve them. Right? There's so many cute things that like Larry was just like, yeet it to the fetus. And I'm like, no, why? Why would you do that? Justina is so much fun as a bard.
Smash! Oh, smash you!
Don't disturb a half ogre in the making.
Mutilate them.
And this was the reason why I separated them instead of sending them together. So I can bring them into the fight. I haven't like played with any photo mode stuff. Like I said, the last time that I played was back in February because I've been spending all my time writing essays for everyone. It also got sick, then got COVID, had my husband end up in the hospital for diabetic reasons, and then moved, so not really a lot of time. I would like to try all of the new stuff that they have in patch 8 though. I haven't tried any of the new stuff yet, and I feel so behind. Like, this feels good. It feels weird to be the one who does not
survival is all that
know everything that's happening in the game for once. Like, I haven't been that way at all. Like, I very quickly became a channel focused solely on Baldur's Gate. Like, there's a lot of content that was like clips of gameplay that I ended up unlisting because it was just clips of gameplay. It had no real like merit or value. But I very quickly made Baldur's Gate my whole life, so to not know everything that's happening in it is so wrong. Everyone knows it's Butters! If I were a character in South Park, I would be Butters.
No time to waste.
Like, despite the fact that I'm Jewish, I wouldn't be Kyle. That was such a bad shot, Will. I'm gonna...
Blood comes easy these days.
Death is but a word away. Outflank, outsmart.
You know what's funny? There's this big piece of meat directly behind the couple that was pumping, and all I could think is, what do you think everyone at camp is thinking when I feed them this?
Two steps at a time.
I don't normally do this fight so early. Astarion went down hard!
And an ogre.
Oh, I've seen worse. Gnomes can be...
He will say that to you even if you are a gnome. Found that out the hard way.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Just check.
Take it you have some suggestions?
the Wizard Wonder. Or how about
This
the
is not about
Master of
approvals.
the
This
Week?
is just about getting a
Tempting, but I think we might already have the maximum number of theatrical titles.
A feast fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding from the tough, leathery meat.
The first time I went for this, I didn't investigate it. I was just like, rip it. Oh, I'm even happy!
The dagger is tightly embedded in the carcass.
Yeah.
You notice nothing unusual.
This boy is very clearly good with his fingers.
Your cautious method pays off. The dagger glides smoothly out of the mystery meat.
And now my best fighter is as more accurately as I don't remember off the top of my head what is a better staff. Okay. One of the best staff first.
Looking ahead.
I don't mind that, I'm gonna say something that's absolutely not safe for work. I don't mind that Astarion is, really good with his hands. Like, I don't have to think that. But I am a little offended that he keeps saying he's going to taste me, and he does not in the way that Olsen does.
In silence.
You sniffing where you ain't ought to be, friend. Might have to take that nose.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
It's the urge to flip everyone off you don't.
Yes!
The way that I will, like...
True soul.
My husband says I am really nice until I am playing a video game, and then you know how some people will get road rage? I will get outraged for no reason at NPC. They'll be like, "Can you help me on this side quest?" And I'll be like, "What are you offering?" And they'll offer like 20 gold or 200 gil, and I'll be like, "Fucking bitch." Yeah. So, I wanted the Starry Night scene, and I realized just now that the reason I do not have it is I did not learn about Olsen. So I do need to go back and it is not required for you to do the Starry Night scene to get any of Astarion's approvals, but
Killed a few giant bats
don't
in my
you
day,
want
Astarion,
Astarion to flirt with you?
but
Because
never
I
hunted
do.
a vampire.
Just to remind you, I'm merely a spawn. It won't count. But if you want a true vampire, I'm happy to recommend one.
I love that it's Astarion song and camp and it's grove. I know it's a I feel your breath upon my neck, but every time the singer sings it, I hear I feel your bread upon my neck. It's like the opening song. I hear the same thing that Jen English hears, and I'm just like in my head I'm going, one alone capybara. Don't know why the capybara is alone, but he is.
Tell me about this place. Come, Silver. Stay close.
You did well to speak up for the girl. That's well seen. Well spotted.
We've let a snake master. More will die if the right is. Would you? I would. Sylvan Halsin is. You won't mistake.
Oh, monkeys! I did not walk close enough to the work point in the Blind Village before running backwards. No.
Astarion, how is the rat diet going?
Shut up.
It may soon come to an end if you don't shut your mouth.
So personally, I think that whether you spare Kaga or whether you kill Kaga, both of those options fall into the good category because she is attempting to unalive everyone. If you convince her to join you, you're convincing her to change sides, which is still good.
I'm feeling a bit parched and peckish.
Astarion only approves
Me
of
too. Keep an eye out for any passing vagrants.
So,
I'm afraid
sure
you'll have to content yourself with vagrant chickens.
I'm actually going to get Karlach before I go in and that's because there's actually approval points in getting Karlach, and then there's approval points in Mizora coming to your camp. If I will give Astarion one thing that I learned from him when we were doing the approvals only run, he might want to kill every bad guy that comes your way, which makes the run take forever because you're constantly fighting. But the boy will always pick whatever path he thinks protects the group. Like, he's very big on not just his bodily autonomy, but protecting our group. He doesn't care about anyone else. Like, the gnomes could die for all he cares. But he definitely cares about our group.
Spare me. We've been... You see, I have this... The specifics are rather... What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I can say no more. Just trust. It's been days since... And by that, I mean, it's imperative. As luck would have it, you're already primed to give me exactly what I need.
Because I haven't done a bunch of the other stuff, I won't end up romantic.
Thank you. Oh,
Because I kind of just skipping everything that didn't matter.
I haste
but
to
a lot
point
of
out,
those
but no
things
less dangerous.
that don't
It's
matter
not so bad once you get
fail
used to it. And on the plus side, my tower in Waterdeep has never been so free of clutter.
I didn't really think about
Sincerely,
Crash, but
though,
we can go and get him.
I understand I ask a lot from you with few
It
answers in
doesn't
return.
offer us any approvals or
But in
disapprovals
time,
either way for
all will be
Astarion.
told.
And I never really use him as a summon because I don't want him to die, even if he goes back to camp.
My lady, I bow to your boundless kindness.
What kind of dog mom would I be if I let a digital dog come? I do not want to fight the trolls. Personally, if I were doing like a full run where I was going to do everything there is to do in a game because I'm trying to get all of the things for that class, that race, that cleric, I would fight the gnolls because their hyena ears allow you to craft the potion of speed, which is the best potion in the game. But they take forever to fight. So while I'm going to go and get Karlach, it doesn't benefit me to fight them, so I'm just going out. I made the mistake of trying to kill her on sight once. Everyone warned me, and I was like, my party warned me, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna do it anyway. Not a good choice. Before I get Karlach, though, I am going to long rest so I can get that Starry Night seed. It should pop. Since he's already told me he was a vampire, there is a chance that it's not the Starry Night seed, because I do not see it over Lazelle's head. It is probably either the scene where he asks how other people at camp taste, or it will be the scene where he's drunk. Those can happen in any order.
There you are.
It's a scene where
I was just thinking about you, and that delicious moment we shared the other night. The very same. I've had this condition for 2 centuries, but truth be told...
I don't know why, but when he has dirt
You're
or
my
blood on his
first.
face, he looks so much more handsome. I don't know why.
In all these years, I've only ever fed on beasts. Drinking the blood of thinking creatures is a different thing entirely. You were delectable. And now I can't
Maybe
help
if
but
we
wonder
all
how the others
collectively
taste.
wish really, really hard together, we can manifest an Agrigor and make Astarion real.
Alas. It doesn't hurt to ponder the question, though. Take Gale, for example. He strikes me as someone whose blood is rich, refined, like well-aged brandy. But the Gith, what in the hells would she taste like?
I think Astarion is always the cutest when he's most sincere. I would like to think that no matter how aggressive and possessive he gets as a son of Astarion, that he is definitely a worship dom. Do people know what that means? Because if not, I could explain it. I just have to think about how to say it in a way my YouTube overlords will not smite me for.
Oh. Well, that sounds very appealing. I'm almost convinced. Absolutely. A mere thought experiment. So, in the spirit of theoretical questions, if you had to take a bite from one of them, who would it be?
Oh, you. Just so everyone can hear what it is. If you pick Astarion, he goes, oh, I didn't know you had such taste. But this is what he says about Will. If you only had Will in your party and no one else, he'd be like, I think Will would taste like cider.
Interesting. I always thought he'd taste a little too sweet. Although, the more I think on it, the hungrier I get. I better go find something I can actually get my teeth into.
I feel the same way. Little assassin. I'm just like, you've got to be like teasing me. It has to be him teasing me, right?
Sweet dreams.
Really wanted the Starry Night scene, but if we don't get it, we don't get it. Like, what's all going on? I like to, I think it's funny I call it the Starry Night scene because I like to call him Starry. At work, we have like a little team. We use Microsoft Teams. We have like a little chat over that's like the paperclip guy, but the Microsoft version.
One horn. The
and I named her Starry and
Advocatus Diaboli.
No one at work gets it. I'm okay with that.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but
Karlach
Karlach
is such a great character, and her actress is so amazing that she went from being just a side character in early access to getting to become a full-fledged character. That's why she's not on the cover, because the cover is the cover art from early access, which is why the characters look a tiny bit different. She was just a side character in it, but people loved her so much they made her a full-fledged character.
In the Archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out.
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes
your PlayStation version doesn't show everyone around the fire?
Seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War.
I feel
What's an agent of it?
It's been so long since I played it on the PlayStation. I can't remember if my
Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served
It should.
That's enough.
It should be that only your active party sleeps around the campfire with you. It's weird. Does anyone else have that issue with PlayStation? So like the last time I played it, everyone slept around the fire with me. But it's been so long since I played it on the PlayStation that I don't remember. Like I feel like it had to have been like back in January, and it was just because that was the only thing available because my husband was like super deep into games he was working on.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
So, like I said, Astarion will always approve of protecting everyone in the group. Like, he is a ride or die. Even if it's just like one approval point.
Listen to sense now.
Often he'll approve of fighting whoever is upsetting the group, but he will try and protect everyone.
Better than anyone. Look into my eyes.
Can't say the same for Shadowheart. She made me kill Lazo when I did her approvals run.
You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Weird. I wonder.
Thank the gods.
Do you have any mods installed? It might be like a side effect from a mod.
You would have died in the attempt, but there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye, truce.
I'm Karlak, but you already knew that. And you are...
How?
Really now? First I catch a ride out of Avernus, then I stumble into a friend.
Right?
Who's the goddess of luck
so
again?
Interestingly enough, when you play the Dark
now
Urge,
that we're old pals,
depending on which things you choose to say during the romance lover scene, Astarion makes a comment about cuddling with you, or like, are you looking for a cuddle? And then, in the same vein, I found this out during the Shadowheart approvals only run. I was romancing Astarion because I was doing the poly mod.
Zariel,
she forced me to make Astarion bite Araja, so he broke up with me. And when he broke up with me, he told me, "You should sleep in your own bedroll tonight." So we've been sleeping with him every night. Like, what?
Of tears to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good? I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Looks like your troops all trooped up. You'll need to send someone packing if you want me to join.
Keeping your greatest weapon in reserve, eh? An excellent strategy.
Excellent. Let's go.
I mean, technically he's not wrong. I am keeping my greatest weapon in reserve because he can blow up the entire world. Is that not a great weapon?
Laughing curse, have you?
Oh, maybe not the whole world, but it feels like it.
I really made it out of Avernus. It's incredible.
All right, just keep it.
In Karlak's origin run, she can't hook up with Astarion. So if you do her origin run, you have a completely unique scene with Astarion. And he's so sweet in it too. Like I have it saved somewhere. I haven't named the file, so I'd have to like go on a rampage to find it. He's so like sweet about it. He's like, I can't touch you and it bothers me. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to behave or act. Like, you can tell just, like, how deep in that version of himself that he is. And it was incredibly, like, validating. Like, I reacted to my trauma the same way he did. I became
now that we've made peace,
hyper spicy.
How about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime.
Go on.
It means you're close. One night soon when we make camp, you're not in any danger.
Oh no!
The blade of frontiers at your calling.
Press H. Again, it doesn't really benefit Astarion to do Karlach's quest, so I'm actually going to save Karlach's quest for later. You still have to do it before you go into Act 2, but I'm not romancing her, so it doesn't benefit anyone to do it right now. But I am going to get Mizora from the camp.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
I hate Mizora so much.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But
I think the fact that I hate her so much is probably
I've taken
because
more
she's very well
pleasant
written.
shits than you, Mizora.
Hated.
And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me devils only. She's a tiefling, not a monster.
How precious.
I do
the
like
little
her
pupster's
dress, though.
found his bark.
I don't like her,
Clause
but I like
G,
her dress.
Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal,
There's
the
a
demonic,
mod
the
that
heartless,
does her
and
dress
the
where it takes the
soulless.
sleeves.
Karlach
So the
meets the criteria.
part of her dress is the
Pet.
sleeves, and the
Trust
weird
me on
hair is a different asset piece than the rest of her dress. And there's a mod that has just the dress without the sleeve asset piece, and it looks so good. I love putting it on Shadowheart. She's so good in it. So I'm not going to get an approval for this one from Will, but I will get an approval from Astarion for this one. Because again, Astarion really likes to threaten people and try to kill.
Kill me? I wouldn't recommend it. I die, and Will turns to a lemure and gets sucked right down to the hells. Which reminds me.
I feel bad for Will that he becomes a devil, because that is incredibly,
his flesh. His soul
incredibly
through
like
each layer of the hells,
emotionally traumatic
gaining
for
their
him,
essence
and it
their
changes some
torment.
parts of his body too, which is something you learn in a conversation with like Karlach Logan. But I you can't tell me he isn't so hot with those parts.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back.
So,
some magic even I can't undo.
Basically, she didn't turn him into a
let's
devil
see
in the
how
way
the
that you might think.
frontiers
Oh, he's
fare
just like
without
a
their
tiefling.
precious
She
blade.
actually gave him a
Karlach,
Cambion's body.
Keep an eye on him, would you?
Cambions
I'll
are
be
half
keeping
devil,
mine
half human.
on you.
Oh, and Will?
Yes,
Don't forget.
that's exactly what I'm
our
talking
pact
about.
still
It's body
stands.
changes.
Ta-ta.
I'm really hoping the places that he shouldn't isn't a place that will make me have a little bit.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his.
Good man.
Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
Technically, tieflings have spikes in places they shouldn't live.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
I wish I had her stomach, but I feel like you would have to live in the gym. Like,
God's damn her, straight back to the
she's
hells.
got a stomach like
Just
Rhea
look at
Ripley.
me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them.
If you do Astarion's
Will was
origin,
lucky
he
he
tells you
didn't
that
face a
he
more
can look
severe
over the
punishment.
contract for you and find a loophole. Obviously, he can't because Will then tells you he doesn't have the contract. But I think that's a nice little nod because he used to be a magistrate, which is just a very nice way of saying a judge. The legal editor Anthony loves that about Astarion.
I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use
Can
for
you
me.
imagine
It's Mazora who grants me the power
how
to
difficult
conjure
it would
armor
be
and
for
cast
Astarion
eldritch
to
blasts.
be the type
Before
of
I was
character
infected,
he is if he was.
I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. A possibility that's... But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games, and it could well... My contract... The only way out is if I... We can.
Kind of skipping through all the extra stuff that doesn't really matter to Romance and Astarion, because I'm sure we've all seen it. Oh my god, is everyone one? So it's auto save right now. Like 1 in the morning. So I am not going to be able to do all of it in one night. It's gonna have to take a couple of streams to be able to do it. I have to get up early in the morning and overlook people's communications between law firms and clients. But yeah, so I will have to finish this, and we'll continue streaming this on different days to go through all the ways that you can romance Astarion as a hero. But yeah, is there anything else that anybody wants to ask while I'm still here before we call it a night? So no, Astarion is not meditating. He's in the trance. Some elves lay down for the trance, and it's basically like sleeping to them. But other elves block the trance and do a series of mental exercises that sometimes look like meditation to other people, but they're actually in the trance. I do go over what the trance is a little bit more in the Corella video and in Astarion's Lost Elf Self. But basically they're able to walk Arvandor, which is their afterlife, or relive memories from their current life, or if they're children, from their past lives. And they do that instead of sleep. And they only need about 2/3 as much sleep as any other humanoid, like sleep. So Astarion can be in the trance and then actually go out and hunt, and it not affect him at all because he doesn't need as much sleep. You're Alright, so I'm going to call it night because it is 1:20 a.m. where I live, and I have to get up at like 8. So it was really fun to be here with you guys. I'm really excited because I don't normally stream. I normally just record everything and then call it and then do like higher end edits. I typically don't like being on camera, and that comes from having started on TikTok, and I think that's because everyone on TikTok is TikTok pretty, and I get super self-conscious. But I want to be on camera more this year, so I feel like this was a fun way to be able to do that, so we can all simp over Astarion while I get over myself. But it was fun, and I hopefully will get to see you guys tomorrow. So have a good night. God.